Hi,
Yes.
everyone. Hi, 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 hi.
Howdy, partners.
Howdy, partners. Welcome to the number one anime podcast in the world, actually. I just saw the charts. We're number one. Um, we are here
Straight fact.
today.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, don't fact check me on that, please. Um, we are back with a little bit of a modified time. Thank you for everyone who was flexible at this moment. But we're here back again with Wotakoi. First of all, how was everyone's week this week? I haven't streamed in a while, so I haven't, interacted with y'all in a while. But Break, how was your how was your day? What's going on?
Just kind of chilling, wash clothes. Just the responsible things to do.
Being an adult, adulting.
Yeah. Dreams were good too. I feel kind of lost right now though. I don't have
Lost.
like a I don't have like a main game to stream right now, so I just been playing Genshin. And I've been playing Genshin a lot lately, and it's just like, what's happening to me?
Genshin's fun. That's a fun game to stream. I like it so much. Um, oh, okay. Well, maybe I don't know. There's a lot of like I just kind of like look up you know how I like find games? I just like see what's on sale. And like if I kind of know about it and has a decent rating, I'm like maybe I can play this game. But yeah, kind of when you finish it, that's how I was with Outlast. I was kind of like I have no more purpose like now that I finished it. What do I do with my life? So
Exactly.
but
Just
yeah.
you gotta fill the empty void somehow, right?
True, true. But grinding on Genshin, I feel like that's like, a fun interim. Like I feel like there's always like
Yeah.
fun little like dailies and things to do on there. So
It's
hopefully.
also fun because you're playing with your friends and everything, and you have random conversations. So if you want to see some just random bootleg conversations that we be having in there, like I'm just saying, like you need to come through at some point and play with us, Pink.
I will. I have to get my PS4 account up to whatever level it is. It's 13 because I abandoned my PC account. We're done. I wish I could transfer it over, but the girls aren't having that, so I have to, follow suit, unfortunately. And Andre said, so let's get this out of the way. It's Kabakura. 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 Kabakura.
Oh no.
Kabakura.
Yeah.
It's the
Oh.
the way they said it. See, the thing is, I think I got confused because you can hear it's like the dress. You know how like the dress can be, gold and white or black and blue. It's kind of like that because you can hear it one way, but then when you hear it again, it's like, oh wait, they're actually stressing the this like syllable. And I think if I like, knew more Japanese, it would be more natural to me. But that's why I usually watch dubs because they'll say it, I guess, in a way that I understand. Like they'll stress it in a way that I understand because I'll like understand the words around it. But on top of that, if somebody's like, "You said it wrong," I'm like, "Well, I said it how they said it in the English dub, so you're just gonna have to fight Vic Mignogna, quite frankly, or whoever, you know."
I mean,
So
that does happen though.
I'm like, "Don't take it up for me. Take it up with Funimation.com." Anyway, hey. Jodella, welcome to the stream. We are talking about Wotakoi today. Kura senpai. Oh, that's right. Narumi just calls him senpai. She's like senpai. That's so cute. But yes, we are discussing episodes. Well, I should probably say this is like a two-part stream for me. We're gonna do anime club for the first like hour and a half and so, and then for those of you who are like, girl, it's Thursday. Where's the spookiness? I got you because we're starting Little Nightmares 2 today. You guys voted on Twitter out of Outlast 2, Little Nightmares, and I think Misao. And Little Nightmares 1, which I'm actually quite excited about because I already had that game. I also did buy Outlast 2. I've been playing
Oh.
it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about
Oh,
it.
wait. Oh, wait. We mean, no, Philip. What was going on there?
It's just like maybe it's because I was a Weenie Hut Junior. No, I was a super Weenie Hut Junior when I started Outlast, and now I'm just like a regular Weenie Hut Junior. Actually, I might be able to get into the Salty Splatoon with a couple months because the way I'm breezing through Outlast 2, you would think it wasn't even a scary game. You would think it was like Super Mario
Salt
Sunshine.
Splatoon, huh? How tough are you?
How tough am I? How many tattoos? uh,
Oh. Go
oh,
right in.
oh, Sandy is such a legend. Oh, okay. Jadella said I'll be lurking for the most part because I have an essay to complete. Well, good luck on your essay. That's always super stressful. I hate
Yes, good
writing.
luck.
I hate writing, but we believe in you. We believe in the you that believes in you.
She hates
Um,
writing. Yeah, she makes excellent notes. Just want to throw that out there.
listen, I'm gonna actually physically show you these notes one day, and you'll be like, "Oh, never mind." Like you're gonna be like, "Let me pull
Nah,
back a
I'm
bit."
gonna look at it. I'm like structured perfectly. All right, you understand everything that's written here. Right?
I would say they're put in a way that I can understand, but sometimes I have trouble understanding them myself. So if that's any indication of what they look like, it's very like doctor's notes. But yes, so if nobody has anything else to say, point out, we can just jump right into it. So we watched 4 episodes, episodes 5 through 10, and we were talking break. And I feel like it was very, very like
Wait, whoa,
tame.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you just say 5 through 10?
Oh, did I say? Yeah, we watched the rest of the series. I'm just kidding.
Uh,
5 through.
wait, what? What I miss?
Sorry, I misspoke. 5 through 8. My bad. 4 episodes.
I got scared. Because I'm not ready. All right.
Sorry, you didn't know that we finished the series. We watched all of Invincible. We actually watched all of Tokyo Mew Mew, and we watched 3 Hayao Miyazaki movies. Did you not get that memo? Or
I guess I didn't check my Twitter. I didn't go to fight for this.
we was wildin'. But yeah. All right, have fun looking, Jodella. I hope you finish your essay. All right, so let's get into it. So, episode 5, we start off with Narumi and Hirotaka having lunch. And while they're having lunch, she's like talking his ear off. He passes out, and she's like, "All right, deuces." So she goes to this coffee shop. So what she doesn't know at the time is like Kurabakura and Kabakura. Ooh, Kabakura and Koyonagi are like also there. But like the big thing is that she sees this cute guy, the barista, the cashier is really cute, and she's like, "Oh my god, he's so adorable." She realizes she actually knows who he is. So they like kind of catch up, and she's like, "Oh," and he's like, he actually suggests, "I'm about to go on break. Let's chat. Like, let's get to know each other." So while they're chatting, Koyonagi and Kabakura, they're like, "What's going on here?" Like, what?
They're way too friendly.
Exactly. She's like, why are they hugged up, kissed up, booed up when she has a boyfriend? Specifically, I feel like I know Koyonagi is the one who suggests that he's like that might be her ex. But I feel like Kabakura, he's like, I'm finna fight, and it was just like a lot.
Yeah, yeah. He's ready to throw down. Like this ain't about to happen, all right? Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that was cute from the perspective of it's like nice that he has his friends back. But I also was like, I feel like there's a little projection going around like on here because he was just already ready to scrap. And I'm like, even if you don't know this guy like that she's with, like I don't feel like Doremi would not be like doing that. Like I feel like she's not that cold blooded. And like I was just like, okay, he's doing a lot.
Which is true. Actually, if you look at it in that perspective too, because it's like, oh, are you saying Rumi's trash? Then, like, what are you trying to say here?
Like I really hate that whole like I can't trust you or you can't do X, Y, and Z around people or hang out with these people because like I don't know what they will do. And I'm like, well, you're also saying that you don't know what I will do because it takes 2 to tango. So you're also insinuating that I can be easily swayed by somebody who's attractive or something like that. So yeah, I thought it was like, I mean, not purposely shady, but I just thought he was just doing a lot. So later on, we find out because essentially, Koyanagi and Kabakura are kind of going back and forth as to what they think this is. And then Hirotaka comes. Turns out Koyanagi invited Hirotaka because she's like, "Yo, you gotta come check this out. I don't know what your girl's doing, but you gotta, stop that and where it is." And so we find out that this guy, his name is Nao, and he is actually Hirotaka's younger brother. So they all know each other. So there was like not really like a thing there. But like it's weird because even after that revelation happens, Kabakura, he's kind of like still messy. Like
Yeah, because he still's like wondering, like, okay, that's the little brother. The little brother could be doing something here. I don't trust this man.
exactly. And I'm just like, it just kind of like made me like, okay, I get it. Like, Hirotaka, that's your homegirl. Like, y'all are really close and stuff. But it's just kind of like, again, like, they know now better than you do. So I feel like they would know if there was something to like worry about there. more than you would. But, nonetheless, he's kind of on edge. So what ends up
Yeah.
happening is that they all head back to Hirotaka's place, and they play video games. And this was the part that kind of grinded my gears because I was just kind of like, okay.
Oh.
So you find out that unlike the rest of them, Nao is not an otaku. So he's like really bad at video games. Some of the references they make, he's just like, that's sure. Like, but he's like a good
Yeah.
sport. So essentially what
I'm
happened,
fitting in.
yeah. I was like, oh gosh. But so essentially they all play, now it's like, oh, I'm really bad. So like expect that. And he like, lives up to that. He is very bad. And so there's kind of like this back and forth where Hirotaka, like now Narumi, she's trying to be like accommodating to the fact that he's new and he doesn't like he's not familiar with this stuff. And she's like, oh, let's ask him what stage he wants to do and like don't be so hard on him. But Hirotaka's like, I'm gonna just play. Like, I don't know. Like, y'all can.
Y'all don't know how bad this boy actually is. Y'all about to learn today.
Exactly. So he's just playing. He's like, I don't care. Narumi's like, Hirotaka, like, be more whatever concerning or whatever. So at the end, Hirotaka ends up winning. But that reminded me of this thing that I was like ticked about a couple weeks ago. So y'all know Among Us, right? Y'all know that game. And
Oh.
so I think like one of the things with Among Us is that like no shade, but it was kind of hard to find 10 people to play with. Like, not like, oh, you have no friends type thing, but like, it's hard to like link up with 10
Oh no, it's
people.
hard.
Yeah.
That's 10 people.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. And like, I feel like it's the funnest when you play with all 10. Like, that's when it's like real popping. So,
Yeah.
you're trying to get as much people in your lobby as possible. And so, what would actually end up happening, I find a lot of times, is that like somebody would like invite somebody who maybe never or invite a few friends who maybe aren't really into gaming or don't really know about gaming, aren't really interested in whatever. And so, like, they'll invite these friends and they'll be like, all right, download it. They'll maybe get them some situation, somewhat situated. And then they'll just like start. And then they'll just like, without like trying to like explain it, without trying to like put it on like walkthrough mode, knowing that there's somebody new. And so I love my boy Hirotaka down, but he was kind of giving you that vibe, like that person who's like,
Ah,
there's a newbie
okay, I
here.
see.
Yeah, and you're not trying to be accommodating. You're like, all right, I'm gonna play, like, if you get like keep up, like that kind of thing.
I was curious where you're trying to get at here. I see. I see. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was actually pretty bad with that. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that? Because I guess as somebody who's not that good of a gamer, and 9 times out of 10, if like somebody's introducing me to a game, I'm new at it or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think
I
about
have a
that?
personal experience on this actually, so I can say firsthand how Mal feels in this situation. So, I got Monster Hunter World, right? I had never played Monster Hunter in my life. So I don't know how this game actually functions like at all,
Hmm.
right? But I'm trying to play with my friend, I'm trying to play with Quets and everything. So, I got the game. I haven't played that game ever since because I'm like, like the way he explained some of the stuff and how we kind of skipped some over the tutorial. Like,
Hmm.
it was a lot. I didn't understand what I was doing. I was just like, okay, we're here, we're doing things, but I just feel like I'm just not doing things. So it's so yeah, when you run into that kind of situation, you want to be able to sit them down and really show them everything
Hmm.
in a nice manner, by the way, not just like, oh, here's this is because you don't want to overwhelm them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's all about how you try to actually teach the person how to play. Because again, if this is your first time ever even jumping into a genre like this, where they even like be like Among Us, because again, Monster Hunter World is a lot more complex
Hmm.
than Among Us, but even Among Us can be quite a lot for someone that hasn't really played games. So I understand that perspective, and that was not cool on his part actually. So yeah, I didn't quite like that either. But again, I see why he don't really mess with him like that though, because I'm pretty sure maybe he did try to teach him at some point, maybe,
Hmm.
right? Because this is his brother, so he knew that he just didn't have the skills to pay bills with that. Right?
Pay
So he's
bills.
like, you're already at a point in your life at your age that you can't play games, and that's just you.
I'm now a hive, so I'm gonna be like, you know what? He can do what he wants. All right, he's a cutie. But yeah, that was just something that I was just like, I kind of was side eyeing. But yeah, that's true. They know each other, so it was less hostile because I think it's coming from brothers. But like, I don't know, that always just grinds my gears when somebody's like, "Want to play this game?" And I'm like, "Sure," and then there's just like, and they're like obliterating me, like if it's a versus, and I'm just like, cool. I don't know how to punch,
Oh,
so
oh yes, yes.
let's start with that. Wait, somebody mentioned, I think it's funny, oh, sorry, Andre mentioned about how like Kabakura, he keeps calling uh Narumi like cute and stuff like that. Like it happened a lot in episode I think 7, the gaming episode.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like kind of like, hey, that's kind of like maybe he's projecting in that way. That's why he was like all up
maybe.
now. It's like it's just kind of like, well, maybe I would be hitting on her if I didn't have like a wife or
But
something.
I mean, I think the reason why she's doing that only because the fact that she's been around him. I'm probably for most of his life, honestly, because
Hmm.
like even from we saw, I think it was episode 8, because yeah, it was episode 8 with the whole thunderstorm and all that crap, and we had a flashback where we see her jumping out on Hirotaka and everything, and he was like, "Where's he at?" He's like preschool, like so she known him since like preschool, basically for now. So this is a long friendship that was here. So obviously, she's super comfortable. She's probably not saying anything in that sense or realm,
Hmm.
honestly.
Hmm.
So
And
I
also,
think that's why she's saying it like that.
yeah, and I also think that like Nao just kind of has a cute personality that I feel like you really want to dote on. So I feel like also Kabakura was probably just like misreading, like like when people are super friendly and stuff, they're like, oh, this person wants me or they're flirting with me. I feel like he was kind of misread because I feel like he's just kind of like a cute, like and yeah, like you said, he's known Narumi for like a long time, so he can be comfortable around her. So yeah, I definitely thought that he was just like wilding for no reason.
But you
Um,
also got to look at his perspective, though. Like he don't know any of this.
I think
I
that's
mean, they,
true.
they could help to explain some of it, actually, like given how their backstory is.
I think
But
that's true, but and so in like the beginning, I think that's fine. But I think once he found out that like Hirotaka and Nao were brothers, I feel like it's just kind of like, well, if this is a problem, I'm pretty sure Hirotaka can handle it himself, like if it comes to that point. So I feel like he was just
yeah,
kind of like, I don't know, like I get what you're saying, especially since that is a friend, but it's like if anyone's gonna check my sibling, it's gonna be me, not you. So like I just thought that it was just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, he was wilding a bit. I don't know, but like that's
Just
true.
a tad, just a tad. No, you're spitting right now.
Yeah, he was wilding. Oh, Andy says maybe he sees her as more of a daughter to protect now. That may be true. I know that there was that whole like,
Mm,
oh, I'm a father figure like type thing. Like that moment he had in that episode. So that could also be very true. Also, hey
true, true.
Leanne. Um
Howdy, Leanne. Howdy.
talking about Kabakura projecting suspicions onto now. Yeah, like it's weird because as much as he calls him cute, Kabakura calls Narumi cute, I don't think he's actually gonna go for her unless this is a super messier show than I thought. But like again,
See, and this when Hirotaka dies, and then that's when now comes through. All right, when
stop.
she's in her lowest, when she's at her lowest, all right, when she's at her lowest, that's when you like boom, and she's like, I always thought you were cute. Bada boom, there it is. All right, all
Watch that actually happen. Oh my god. But yeah, so it kind of wraps up where, everyone's going home at the end of the night from Hirotaka's place and now offers to walk Narumi to the train station, but Kabakura is kind of like, I'll walk her. And he's like, what? And then so that's when he like, finally comes out with it and he's like, you need to chill, dude. Like I see what you're doing. It's not cute. And now it's kind of like, what? And so like he kind of apologizes because Kabakura was kind of like, she has a boyfriend. And see, that's the thing, like I can kind of see like, but it's like also like Narumi has a mouth. If she felt like, there was an issue there, she can say it. Like, I don't know. That's like guy, I don't want to say guys like that, but like people like that, like I think it's very heroic to like stand up for somebody if you think that they might being made uncomfortable. I know like there's a lot of
yeah,
guys who are like, if there's ever a guy bothering you, like come up and pretend I'm your boyfriend because then I can scare him off or something like that. And I actually find that like really admirable. But I think in that case, I feel like he was just like there was so much assumptions going on.
oh
Um
yeah.
and I don't know. It was like, Narumi can speak for herself if she felt like Nao was coming on too strong. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe I'm just being like,
Oh, no, 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 no. You're again. You spitting. You're right. Like if she was feeling uncomfortable in that situation in any capacity, she would have been. this is not what we're talking about. Like, obviously, you should have been said something, you know what I mean? So obviously, that's not really the case here. And Kamakura just needed to back off just a little bit, because I understand what he's trying to do, and it's nice. Hey, you're a good friend, trying to stand up like that, but at the same time, try to read the situation a little bit better, because that's one of the things actually we see these couple episodes here too, is that he doesn't know how to read situations very well. So that's one of the main problems with him, which is why he ends up jumping the gun too much. So
yeah,
that's a Kamakura problem right now.
Yeah. But yeah, so it kind of gets like a bit awkward, because then now assumes that the couple is, Kabakura and now Narumi, and it's like, not quite.
Yeah, man. You're getting warmer though. You're getting warmer.
And so basically, while they're like trying to like handle the situation, Koyonagi, like the bad, bitch she is, she's like, wait a second, and then she like kisses Kabakura, and then he's like, and then Koyonagi's basically like, he's my boyfriend, her boyfriend is Hirotaka. And so, there's like a moment of, okay, how is he gonna take this? And then to our surprise, now starts crying. And so the first assumption that Kabakura makes is that like, oh, he must have like liked her so much and now he's sad. But it turns out that he was really happy that like Hirotaka like found girl, like, was together with Narumi, because he always felt that like, Hirotaka struggled with like being lonely, and he thought he was going to be alone forever. So he's really happy that, they're in this situation where Narumi can stay by like his side. So yeah,
it was such a heartwarming moment. I was like, okay, I like you now. All right, I like you now.
But it's
terrible.
Oh, Andy says not Hirotaka being asleep through the whole thing too. Yet he was y'all listen.
Hey, boy was tired. Right, boy was tired. Right? I understand.
But I was just like, wow. Now Hive, I can't wait to see more about him. I love him so much. Not only is he adorable, but that moment, just like being so concerned about your brother's like well-being and things like that, that was just like, I don't know, that almost made me shed a tear, because I'm just like, I don't know, that was really, really cute. Yeah.
Well, why didn't you shed a tear?
Because I was like, it's not that serious. No, just kidding.
God dang it.
No, I don't know. It's just like, I was like, oh, like, it's just really, and I just thought he was so adorable, especially like his flashbacks when they show like when he's like really, really younger. Oh, yeah, my heart. But yeah, so that was episode 5. Any thoughts? Additional thoughts?
It always surprises me just how much is in one episode. Because god dang, I didn't realize that was all in one episode. What are we doing episode 6 then?
Well, I guess where that one is stacked, like episode like 6 and 7, they're fairly short. Like at least maybe I just stopped taking as long as notes, because I was like, maybe I'm writing too much.
But see, that's why. It was 6 and 7. That was a problem then, I guess, because like there's some episodes here that was just kind of. Like we're doing stuff, but we weren't really progressing anywhere, really.
Yeah.
Until episode 8.
I definitely feel that. Yeah, because my notes. Let me just start off. So in this next episode, it starts off where it's raining, and Naru and Hiro are trying to like leave work, but they don't have umbrellas. So luckily they run into Kabakura, and he's like, "Hey kids, take this umbrella. Like, don't forget it. You crazy kids." How old is he in comparison to the other two? Because I know Narumi is 26, and I'm assuming Hirotaka is the same age. But how old are the other two?
That's actually a really good question. I'm not sure. Let me check. Does it show me the age real quick? Yo, he's 28. Okay. Kabakura's 28.
Okay, so I could kind of see that. If I had somebody who was 2 or so years, I might like treat them more.
Okay, and then Koyonagi's 27 actually.
Okay, so they're all pretty close, I guess. Yeah, I guess because especially Narumi, she just gives like I'm baby energy.
That's the energy right there. Well, I mean, I thought it'd be a little bit, more on the chaotic end. just saying. I mean, I don't know about the baby part.
Chaotic baby.
She does a lot of stuff, right? She be doing. Oh wait, yeah, maybe.
Especially, I guess, in comparison. Like, I love their dynamic so much, because I love like the whole opposites attract thing, where it's like one that's chill. well, I'll get into that later, but yeah, I really like their
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I already know what you're about to say then. Okay.
Oh, Andre said he's my age. Oh my god, I thought he was older. Where we just talking about that last time? How they make like later 20 people seem like they're like 45, like in the way that they make them seem so like mature. But same, I thought he was gonna be in his 30s.
Oh goodness.
Like
Well,
maybe
like I
like
say, he's not a
31.
grandmaster yet. All right, he's not a grandmaster yet. Give him a second.
Just a sensei, give him time. But
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly, exactly.
So this is more just like a cute like little moment, this beginning part, because it kind of made my heart go like doki doki. I'm gonna be honest, because essentially it's raining, so now they have Kabakura's umbrella, and they're just kind of talking and walking, and like one side is like the road, one side because they're on the sidewalk, one side is like the inner sidewalk. And so without even saying anything, our boy Hirotaka does the smooth, because Narumi's on the outside and he's on the inside. He does the smooth one too and switches it, so she doesn't get hit by water, or she's away from the road, and like she kind of notices it and she's like, wow, that's really cool. And I was just like, that's the move. That's the move. I don't know. I sometimes I think things are corny, but like stuff like that I feel like is always, I find super cute. I don't know. It's
Yeah, see,
yeah.
he's a good man. All right, that's all I'll say. Because I be doing that too. It works, all right?
Breaks like from one player to another. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But the rain scene, yeah, the rain scene was so adorable. Um, So the next day, they're at work, and Hirotaka is kind of concerned because he notices that Narumi is not like acting like herself. He feels like she's putting on like a fake front where she's pretending to be like happy, but he can tell that like she's sad. But what's really like bothering him is that like he straight up asked her what's wrong, and she's just like, nothing, don't worry about it. So he's kind of frustrated because it's like he would love to do something for her, help her, but she's just trying to keep it to herself. So he's talking to Koyonagi and Kabakura, and they're basically like, you should do something for her because like people want, things done for them when they're sad. Like that's how you get them out of a funk. So after work, he waits for her to finish work, and then he invites her along with, because Kabakura and Koyonagi are also coming to get drinks, and she's like, you know what? Thank you, but no thanks. Peace out. And so they basically just kind of come to like this like head because he's like, I know you're sad. Like, why aren't you telling me you're sad? It's making me sad that you're not telling me you're sad. And so she's like, well, I don't want you to worry. Like, so that's why like I didn't. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that is such a classic. Like, they're too
Yeah.
nice.
What you say? What do you mean they're too nice? What?
Like they're just so cute and sweet. Like I don't want to tell you I'm sad because I don't want you to be sad. Like I don't want to burden you. That is so pure.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, hey, y'all together. You're supposed to be sharing your sadness together, right?
That's true.
Y'all supposed to be a team, correct? You're supposed to be a team, right?
That's true. But I think I do that a lot. If I if I feel like it will burden the person knowing that I'm upset, sometimes I'm just like, all right, maybe I'll hold back and see if I can kind of figure this out on my own. And only when I need help will I come forward. So I definitely, empathized with Narumi in that way.
Drake will remember this.
And unlike Narumi, I'm good at hiding when I'm sad. No, just kidding.
Oh snap! Oh, whoa!
Yeah, that's right, Narumi. I'm calling you out. No, just kidding. There is a Hatsune Miku reference. They kind of be making a lot of reference. They reference like Animal Crossing and things like that. I think that's so fun with like shows that are actually about being otakus or what have you, because they'll like actually make those references. But I know I
It's
didn't
still
catch
funny.
that.
You keep seeing the goddamn Monster Hunter references because the game they're playing is Monster Hunter. So it's just like it's funny to see that.
Oh wow, I didn't even realize that. I do not play
Yeah,
Monster Hunter.
it's legit Monster Hunter. Like that's what they're
Oh
playing. I was
wow.
like, what?
Was it the same episode? Oh no, it would have been this
Was it?
episode if it was the Hatsune. Sorry, I'm just like responding in chat. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so eventually they just come to an understanding. Like he's like, tell me, when you're sad, because I am your boyfriend. I would like to help you. And so she tells him that the reason she's sad is because her favorite character in a manga recently died in the most recent update. And so everyone's like, girl, shut it down. Like,
Everyone's started laughing. Like, what the heck is this? Like, what? Really? Really?
So that was really, really cute. But honestly, well, no, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say I could relate to a manga character dying. There was one instance where it like literally had me on the ground crying, being like, "Take me instead, Jesus!" Because what was it?
What?
There was. I don't want to ruin it, but there was a death in a certain manga that recently had a certain bad anime, and I was
Oh.
laid
Oh.
out. I was laid out, so I can kind of like vibe with her. I don't know if I would have been like at work, like literally.
Ruin your whole mood and everything. Can't even work properly because just that death right there is in your mind the whole day.
But yeah, so sorry, did you have anything to say?
I'm just surprised by that. I
Uh,
know what show you're talking. I know what you're talking about. Then I know what manga it is. So
I'm
it's
about
like,
to
wait a
cry right
minute.
now.
Oh,
Oh,
she remembers these are flashbacks. These are war flashbacks right now.
okay, I don't want to like ruin it, but the fact that bada boom bada bing, oh my god. Anyway, um, so I don't like.
And you're saying spill the tea.
Listen, I don't wanna put it on, I don't wanna ruin it for anyone. I'll just say that it's in the manga, but it's not in the anime. So if you really wanna be eating good, go read that manga. F that anime. Don't even look at that anime. Well, watch the first season, that was pretty good, but yeah. I cried reading Naruto, so I get emotional over anything. Honestly, I low-key wanna like actually for real watch Naruto, because everyone always be saying it's so emotional. Like,
Well, it actually can be. I mean, especially with some of the deaths in there. Like one of them actually did impact me, kind of hurt me too. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. I felt you, Naruto. I felt that. I won't say more. If you ever actually watched it, it's not a bad watch. Just watch out for all the fillers. There's so many fillers in that goddamn show.
yeah, people keep saying that, and I'm sure there's like a guide where it's like, that's why I'm kind of just like, well, if I read it, maybe, I mean, if I watch it, maybe I can avoid, I mean, read it, maybe I can avoid some of the manga. But I think one of the things that I feel so like, oh, I gotta watch it is because like musical scores can do so much. And
Yes.
I don't want to miss that moment where it's like the music hits it. How's that Naruto music go? Wee, 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 or however that goes. Like, it's just like, oh,
Wait, what?
that one where it's like, wee, and he's like, Sasuke Naruto. I haven't watched it since 2010. Not even like 5. Listen, give me a break. All right. But you know what I'm talking about? You, or however it goes. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
The manga is, I guess it's not a spoiler because I don't think it's spoiled that somebody dies. The Promised Neverland. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hey, wait a minute. What? Z's here.
Hey!
Came with the follow.
Yeah, what's up? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Right now we're discussing Wotakoi, but also kind of splicing in different type of anime topics and things like that. But oh, hey Barbie, what's up? But yes, so that was kind of like the first part of episode 6. So moving to the second part of episode 6, see, this is where the notes start to crumble because all I put was like Christmas episode. Christmas memories. So
oh yeah.
but I have a couple specifics. So we hear about how Koyonagi, it's Christmas season. This is Narumi's first Christmas with Hirotaka as her boyfriend. So it's kind of like, okay, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna spend it? Narumi talks to Koyonagi and she's like, my last Christmas was trash because Kabakura didn't want to do anything, so we didn't do it. He's trash. And so she's kind of like, oh, okay, like let's not make it trash. And then Narumi and Hirotaka are kind of like walking around the city, and they actually run across Nao, who is at his coffee job. He's dressed up as Santa, kind of out there like giving out flyers and stuff like that. So it was kind of like this moment where they're kind of just reminiscing about the good old days. They mentioned that Nao doesn't have a girlfriend. And for him like not to be lonely or jealous of other people because he doesn't have a girlfriend, which I think is a foreshadow. Like I think there's gonna be like maybe a plot where he like starts to, there's a moment.
Maybe. I mean, well, we only have like what, 3 episodes left, right? So it's only 11 episodes, or
well, as
like will they have time for that?
as the president of the Now fan club, they better make time, quite frankly.
Oh,
Are we scrapping?
Okay,
all right, we scrapping.
Whoa. Side note, by the way, it seems like anime is a little confused. This is an anime one. I think you put it in the Discord at one point, right?
Who,
I think
me?
you did. Yes, you.
Oh, put
Yes,
in
you
what?
pink.
Sorry.
You put. You laughing?
My
I was
brain
asking if
said,
you. I believe you put it in the Discord, right? Right, like
"Oh
the anime,
yeah."
so people knew. Yeah. So if you also watch the show, so then we come over here and we discuss it. This is what we're doing. This is what the anime club's all about. And then we'll
Ah.
splice in some other topics here and there as we're going along, as you're seeing. So hopefully that can help you at least a little bit there, Z.
Oh, sorry if when I posted in Discord I didn't mention that we are talking about Wotakoi because I feel like that's kind of imperative, especially for like the first couple, the first portion. But Beastars is something I want to watch as well. Now question, was it season 1 and season 2 or just season 1? Excuse me.
Question.
Question to anime is life. But as they ruminate on that. So yeah, then at the end, so it becomes this wild thing. so so we have this situation where Kabakura kind of like makes up for doing dilly squat last year, and he takes Koyonagi to this like really fancy restaurant, and she ends up also getting him this figurine, and so it's kind of like, oh well, it was trash last year, but he kind of makes up for it. So that's kind of what it
Yeah.
was. And then there's this whole part, and even now I'm thinking, I was like, was this episode 6? Because it's a long episode. But essentially we have this point where this can't be this episode. Let me make sure I'm right.
What are you looking at?
Oh, this might be episode 7. So this is the episode where it's like you're kind of getting a back and forth between Koyonagi and Narumi and Hirotaka and Kubakura and those two coworkers. So like
Yeah. Okay, that's episode 7. Okay, yeah.
All right. So that's the end of episode 6. So it was the first part about kind of like them trusting each other to tell them each other how it really feels. I thought that was really cute. And the second episode, it was now fan service. So I was like, yes, King, make this show about him.
I'm still kind of conflicted though when it comes to Kabakura and Koyonagi's like relationship though. It's just like, I don't know. It's like they're not. Well, anytime we see them on screen, with the crew and everything, they're just, I don't know. They're just not meshing well.
Yeah.
And Kabakura just he's kind of trash a little bit. Like, I don't know. He always keep calling her ugly, and it's just like, I don't know. It bothered me as the show goes on. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, why are we really doing this? And it still bothers me to this day that when you're supposed to apologize to her like at that time when she was like crying and drunk and all that crap, like he didn't do it. He just hugged her and like still called her trash. I was like, how's that working? Like, what's going on here? Is this kind of toxic? Am I tripping when I feel this way? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about this relationship per se?
I agree, especially that part, because I was like, okay, this could have been a really cute sentimental. And I get it's kind of like, the tsundere guy who's not really gonna like give you like a heartfelt moment, but he cares. But I also think, and I'm not sure if it was episode 7 or episode 8, but there's this part where like, Hirotaka comes, and prior to that, Kabakura and Koyonagi were kind of chilling out on the couch, and he notes that they start like scrapping, like going at it, fighting each other, and he's kind of like, what do you guys like when you're alone with each other? Because y'all weren't fighting before I got here. So I feel like maybe that was a bit of a like, maybe we'll see more of that and see how that dynamic works, and maybe get like some insight into why they always like straight up boxing each other.
I mean, yeah.
At the time, like they act like they legit despise each other. That's why, like when they revealed in like the first or so episode that they were dating, I was like, who's dating whom? Like, what? Y'all act like siblings. What you thought? Like, I was confused.
Oh crap.
Hey, LD.
Oh, hello.
Oh, Andy says that, yeah, I guess they are both a bit tsundere. I think Koyonagi, I feel like she's kind of like, she's very mature, like, looking, and she kind of gives off a mature vibe, which kind of, like, comes off, but I feel like she has her cuter moments. I feel like if, like, there's a cute moment, like, she usually, like, initiates it, but I guess they're both a bit, like, maybe like that, but maybe they get nervous at PDA.
I guess. I mean, I guess that makes sense, especially considering maybe what So 8 was. I don't know. I guess I need to see the rest of the development because I don't know. Just like Kabakura is really kind of
Yeah.
I'm in between with this guy right now. I don't know how I feel about the guy.
Same. He's like, usually I'm just like, oh, I love me a Samberry man, but he needs to like, where's the dare? We only got the soon. Come on. Step up your game. Um Sorry. Now is looking so cute as Santa. True. Hey LD.
What is this? What is this?
Listen, this is gonna be the Now fan club, and I feel like Ricky just gonna have to come in line, fall in line. We have jackets.
Look. You already got me into some freaking K-pop, all right? We ain't about to get into this one, all right? Not in this group.
It's all due time, my friend. um, Andre says, definitely cuter in private than in public, but that's probably their love language. Oh, that could be true. It's just like the way they roll, but they like they straight up scrapping like in public. Like it's like somebody call the police. Andy also says, plus they seem to be kind of shy displaying their feelings, relationship around others. Yeah, I definitely see that as a thing. I definitely think, there are I know a lot of people like that. Like they be all loved up, kissed up, but as soon as they see somebody like, okay, never mind. Like they're like, oh, business meeting.
Yeah, well, see, what's weird though, because like Koyonagi will straight up be like go up on Kamakura in front of everybody like this is my boyfriend here. Like I mean, it's not like she's like shy like that. Like she will go in if she needs to, right? So I don't know. It's just that's why I think it's I'm saying. It's like just like looking at it. Like Kamakura doesn't do that. Kamakura honestly, like I said, make you feel like does he even really truly like her? I still don't know.
Dang, even she didn't know that one episode. She was like, does this man even want me? Or
like what's going on here?
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe he grows. Hopefully he grows because Koyonagi is a queen. She deserves better. But yes, so
yeah, rock his ear.
In episode 7, we start off. Oh, sorry, are we on 7 or 6?
We're on 7.
Okay, so episode 7. So the first half is kind of like this cool thing where they're playing like a game, an online game. So we kind of see them as avatars for most of it. And they're just like trying to link up and all play together and like defeat this like big bad monster. And so I didn't really have much notes except Now supremacy. He was so cute when he logged on as Hirotaka's avatar. He didn't know what to do.
Okay. Look, okay. Get your fangirl out. Let it go. Let it out. Oh God. Okay. I heard the electric boogaloo. All right.
But other than that, did you have any things that stood out to you that episode, or anyone in the chat?
I mean, honestly, like I can relate to that episode because that's what we do. Like I know how that feels. Where we're like, hey, let's get this crew together. Let's go play some games. Like I don't know. I liked it when I saw that. Like it just really shows that they understand like otaku culture and how otakus and anime fans kind of how they interact with each other and everything. Like I don't know. That's just one of the things I kind of appreciate constantly watching stuff. Like watching the show and given the fact that they know how old they are too. It's just like what I mean. Like I don't know. It really gets connected even more after seeing that, because I'm literally doing that right now with a group of 4 people playing freaking Genshin Impact and trying to get everybody together. Like this is what we're doing. Impossible.
It is really, really hard. It's like if people can come, but they might not be the right level, so then you have to wait for them to level up. It's so Genshin Impact knew what they were doing by making that a requirement.
I know, right? God.
Oh, one anime is life redeemed. One unpopular opinion. Break because you're the guest.
I freaking knew it. You sucker. An unpopular opinion, huh? Okay, I'm look around my room. Maybe I can find something. Oh, you know what? Actually, there it is. Okay, look at that. I'm looking at it right now. All right. I remember you were talking about this too, because you are trying to get into One Piece, right? I'll say currently, in its current standing, One Piece is it's very mid. It's not as good as people say it is. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're on your own.
I have actual issues. Look, I have actual issues with the show. Why I'm saying this at this point. Mm-hmm. In its current standing, like I feel like Oda's writing has been going a little too fast for one. And they're just writing mistakes that he's doing. He didn't do initially. So right now, One Piece it's a good show. Like it's still good. It's just not as good as everybody keeps trying to hype it up to be like it's like this great thing. Every chapter is a banger. Like it's not that though. There's some chapters just not that good actually. So that's my unpopular opinion.
Dang. Honestly, when I was kind of like doing my research on how I was going to attack like getting to know the One Piece story, there are a lot of people who are actually saying that. I feel like you really have to dig for any type of criticism for One Piece because everyone else is going to be like, best show, 20 years running. Like, and it's just like, oh, okay, best show, 20 years. Like, I feel like maybe there's some kind of like cult agreement for One Piece fans to be like, none of y'all criticize this outside of the fandom or you're finna get it dragged. But
it's funny too because like in the beginning stages of One Piece, people hated it. Like you could find threads everywhere about hating on the show. It just for some reason I don't know what happened exactly. I don't know what arc it was, but once that arc happened, everything changed. That's when the Fire Nation attacked, all right, and it just changed the whole story. And everybody said it's the GOAT now, which it's really good for especially a series that's been going for 20 years and it's actually as consistent as it is. That's impressive as heck. But there's still issues. There's still problems. And I feel like I could actually make a video on this at some point, actually just laying out the whole facts of what's actually going on, what's actually wrong with it.
Well,
I feel like people just don't understand.
You should. That'd be a great video. I feel like that is very, not to say that there's not anything critical on One Piece, but I feel like a lot of the like think pieces or like long video essay type things on like One Piece are like, this is why you should watch One Piece. This is why One Piece is the anime version of Jesus Christ himself. Like, I feel like there's like a lot of like, of that. So that would be really interesting. I would have to kind of wait because I don't want to get spoiled to watch it, but no, I'm in there in spirit. But okay.
Appreciate it.
Saucy opinion. I will say, and this is just me being annoying. This is not even a popular opinion. Well, I guess it's an unpopular opinion. I like, as much as I appreciate that people love Dragon Ball Z, but in my opinion, that's just boring. Like, it's very boring. Like, I wish I could like appreciate it in the other people, but I guess I'm not that into fighting that much.
Boring though.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't watch it from the beginning to end, and I only watched it when I was younger. But even like clips I see, I'm just like, this is kind of boring.
I mean, look, if you're talking about Super, that'd be a whole different story, all right? But Z though, ooh.
To be fair, the one where it's like Bulma running around trying to get the Dragon Balls, that one was cute. What was that one?
Wait, you talking about Dragon Ball? Like the beginning?
I guess.
Where Goku's like a little kid?
Yeah, he's like a monkey.
Ooh, I mean,
that one was
cute. That's kind of controversial. Okay, what you're talking about is kind of controversial at this point. Okay, all right. That's a strong unpopular opinion right there. Hold on a second.
No, I'm not. Okay, here's the thing. Also, no, I'm not calling you lame. I'm not one of those people who will be like, you like this anime, so you literally deserve to be in the ground. I will crush you with my physical. Like, not one of those people who like try to attack you for your anime. So don't think if I think something's boring, I hate you, because that's not the case. I'm sure you're cool. I'm sure there's stuff that I'll be like, yo, this was the ish, and you'd be like, hit snooze, like, But like, I guess that's me.
Interesting. I did not know this.
Oh wait, his life said no. My name is Z. Oh no, not you personally.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Dragon Ball, maybe because it's not my generation. I just love One Piece and Naruto more. Yeah,
I can understand that, because I mean, there's always a shonen at some point in time in every like generational phase that people be like, this is the show for us. Like right now, probably it's like Demon Slayer, maybe, because Demon Slayer is eating up everything right now, or My Hero. Yeah, like it's like that can be like their first shonen, for instance. Whereas like for me, because I was growing up, Dragon Ball Z was my first shonen. Well, that Pokemon. Which one came first? Was Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z?
I could not tell you. Because I don't know that much of the history about Dragon Ball Z. And like Pokemon, I definitely only started watching it when it was airing on TV, like in the 2000s. And I know it's been around before that. So
yeah. Oh, you didn't get into it like in the beginning stages. I got into it the literal beginning stages because I watched it the first episode when I was like 6 years old, and I was like, this show's cool. Pikachu. All right. Pikachu. I was a fan ever since then. At that point, right? I was like, I got hooked in it. and then I dropped it at some point, you know, and I got older. But that's besides the point. But yeah, everybody has that generational phase where like certain shows are just better than others, and you know, it's always good to at least appreciate the older animes that kind of are the progenitors or the things that made the shows that we have now. You know, these are the like the building blocks that made the shows what we have now that you know are really good. Oh.
And I think that's actually very, I think that's true. And this is a issue or a fight that constantly happens in K-pop. The idea of like the earlier K-pop, like second gen and even first gen K-pop groups that maybe like, you know, paved the way, or like, you know, laid the like the groundwork for like huge ones that are like now that like K-pop is like international, worldwide, like without a doubt. And like there'll be some fans that will come in with the new stuff and be like, I don't care about those other people, that's cute, but okay, my fave's the best. And you know, there'll be other second gen stans who will be like, you cannot dare think that your fave is better than any of these second gen people. And I feel like there has to be like a happy medium where like the respect should be there, but there should not be any obligation to think that this show is the best show, because everyone's gonna have like different opinions and different tastes. Like if you don't like fighting in shonen, why would you really like something that where that's like a like big element of it, you know? But like doesn't mean you have to be disrespectful. And I don't think my opinion wasn't disrespectful. Maybe somebody will say, maybe I should say I don't like the show. Not that it's, I don't know, what did I say? Lame, boring.
It's not your taste in anime because, you know, there's too much fighting going on.
Yeah.
That is just boring because,
well, it is to me.
It
is to me, but that's the thing. I could be boring. I like knitting. That drag me, you know what I'm saying? Drag me by my scalp, you know? Like, what? I mean, like, okay, here's the thing. I'm trying to find this middle ground between sugarcoating things and saying saying things respectfully, and like not sugarcoating what I mean, you know? Like, because it's like, okay, if I think this drink is bad, like garbage, I'm like, this is garbage. But then it's like, to me, like, you know that gif where it's that girl smoking, she's like, to you, that gif? Have you ever seen that?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's like when somebody says that, it's like, I was like, this is trash. And then they're like, to you. And I'm like, yeah, to me. Yeah. So don't feel bad if I hate it.
Well, I get it. I get it. Like the thing is, too, is just like, there is a difference between a good show and a bad show, of course. So there's actually like literal issues with the writing and stuff like that. And I can see why you would actually have a problem with it too, because then, all right, you have more grounds to why you actually dislike the show because there's a reason for it. Whereas, you know, I mean, still, you can dislike anything at the end of the day. If you don't like something, you don't like something. That is what it is, you know. So, but I guess I'll have to take it. I have to take it.
Do you think I'm being disrespectful? I can change my ways. I'm a very
no. Because honestly, you're being honest. You know, so honestly, I could appreciate that more than you just like trying to sugarcoat and be like, oh, you know, just not for me. You know what I mean? Like you could have just been like that, and you know, and just left it alone. But you know, you're like, nah, I'm gonna bring down the hammer real quick.
Trash. Next case. Maybe that is kind of harsh. Okay, maybe I could word that, because I could see how somebody being like kind of what you said, like there's a difference between a bad show and a show you don't like. Like maybe like if it's a show I'm not into, I could still like appreciate it. I'm trying to think if there's like a show like that like I was like, this isn't for me. What is the one with Yuji and them?
Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah, I was like trying to watch that, and I might try again, but I wasn't really feeling it. Now I'm only on episode 4 or 5. But I wasn't feeling it so much. And same thing with Demon Slayer. When I tried to watch it, I wasn't really feeling it. I might try again.
Yeah, okay.
I might try again. But I'm like, I get it, because this is a great premise they're laying. The fact that he got to eat them crusty fingers and they're finna kill him. I was like,
eat the crusty fingers. I mean, that's one way to put it.
Like, I like that the main girl. What's her name? The one with the brown hair. Well, whatever her name is. Maki, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Unless I'm thinking about someone else. I think it's the sword girl I'm thinking. Is it? Oh, man. I know Megumi and Suji is the problem. So I'm like, I can't remember her name. Oh, my God, I feel so bad. Oh, I like the show, too. Oh, I failed. No worries. Honestly.
It's time to drag me.
Okay. A little drag. I'll give you a little tug. Not that I knew it either. We'll drag both of ourselves. That was another thing I want to talk about.
Oh, okay, thank you, Barbie. Thank you. It's Nobara.
Nobara. Yeah, I think she's like a badass, like right from this like jump, I really liked her personality, how she's like badass, but she's also really, really silly with like Yuji and stuff. Like I like their chemistry.
Yeah.
He's adorable. He's my fave. I love his energy. So I might try like keep watching it for the characters because that's what I had to do for My Hero for a while because I was like, I don't really know how I feel about this plot, but these characters are so cool. I'm gonna keep watching. So
Really?
during
That's
the
really.
when they were the beginning was fine. I actually quite liked the beginning. The arc where Bakugo got kidnapped, I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it that much. And then when they were getting their hero's license, that wasn't very long, but I was just kind of like, this is like for something that seems very important. I feel like it's not that serious. Like they already been like fought like actual like villains, and now they're like playing tag. Like I was like,
Shoot, man, if you're feeling like that right now, man, you gotta watch this new season because this new season feels just like that.
oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, look, I'm not trying to hate on My Hero, but like I'm not really I'm not really liking this arc that we're in right now. Like, it's another kind of like somewhat, I don't want to say tournament arc, but it's like the training arc that they had like not that long ago actually, where they had like the other classes and stuff. So it's just like I don't know. The show is just it feels very mid. Okay, like I was just gonna keep it real. Like I'm hoping from what I've been hearing from the villain side, because this is the stuff I've been hearing. There's some juicy stuff going on there, so I'm looking forward to that. See, maybe that might change the whole arc around. But right now, it's a little weird to watch, honestly. Oh, but I mean, just guys, it's very interesting how your thought process and how you perceive anime is very interesting. Because I mean, for Demon Slayer, I can see why you probably wouldn't like it. Because I'm surprised you try to watch it, given that it's mostly action. There's the show's story is very simplistic, and I had the same feeling where I didn't really like the show initially. It's a funny thing, but after rewatching it in the dub and watching it on Toonami, of course, I don't know. I gained a certain appreciation for it because at first I was like, the show's still just mid. Like I don't know why everybody loves the show so much, but I don't know. I rewatched the whole thing again, and I had a different perspective, I guess, or something happened. Some enlightenment happened to me. I don't know, but I kind of like it now. Like I watched the movie too, and I'm like, man, this show kind of nice. Like I don't know what's happening, right? So things can change. You just maybe got to give it more of a chance. Maybe I don't know because I totally turned around for Demon Slayer, but Jujutsu Kaisen, I freaking loved it immediately because it reminded me so much of Bleach. Because I love Bleach, so it has certain premises, certain aspects of like Bleach and Hunter x Hunter, mind you, that's like molded into both, like into one show basically. And it's like, yo, this is it. I love this. Like I loved it from the first episode, and I loved it ever since. So if you see it from that perspective, you're like, okay, I get it now. But at the same time, I can see why you probably wouldn't like it either. Ken, you're not big on fighting like that, and
yeah, I mean it's hard because I feel like I become very like hypocritical because I'm like I don't care about fights, but then I'm like, but Attack on Titan, But I honestly think what drives me in Attack on Titan is like that mystery, that story behind like trying to find out like the history of the world, and then the fights. But like I don't know, like Attack on Titan. It has me by like the claws or something because it's like I never was like, yo, that was a dope fight. That has never left my mouth until Levi fought the Beast Titan in like season whatever. I was like, so it was just like I was like, okay. And like Hunter x Hunter, while the fights weren't my favorite, like the arc where they were in that tower, I was like, all right, girls, I only have so much time. Like I was like, and I was a Leorio stan. I'm a Leorio stan, so I'm like, we gotta see my man. Like we gotta hurry it up. But like, yeah, that was kind of it. Like the idea of Nen. That was kind of interesting. And also I thought their teacher during that arc, he was like weird. So I was like, oh, let me keep watching this because I feel like he's not who he says he is. And the little boy was cute.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Sorry, I'm gonna jump into the chat. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I was like, what are the comment section saying? We were talking a lot, so let's see what they're saying.
Andy says, I once saw on Twitter something like, what have Big Bang achieved? What are their sales in Korea? And I'm like, yeah, like, so Big Bang is an older group. They like came out in like 2006.
I know who they are actually.
Oh, wow. Oh, we've infiltrated him. We did it, y'all.
That was one of the ones I've actually ran into like a long time ago. No, I don't think Jay Park was part of that, right?
No, he was in another group called 2 PM. but
Oh, okay, well.
they were active around the same time.
Yeah, 'cause I thought that's how I ran into him. So I'm like, I know I ran into Jay Park because of this rapper I was listening to called Dumbfounded because he did like a song with him, and so that's how I ran into Jay Park, which then made me run into Big Bang, and I'm like, I never really got into it though like that. I mean, Jay Park was kind of cool. I did listen to him a little bit, but yeah, so yeah, that's the only reason I know of Big Bang, but I didn't really mess with their music like that.
Ah, okay. Well, tell that to the what are the VIPs? They're gonna love that one. I feel like sometimes there's like this like war. I don't know. Maybe y'all can like have my back on this. I feel like back in the day there was like kind of this obsession with like finding out how non-K-pop fans feel about K-pop acts. So like there was like this really really popular trend back where like when reaction videos are at their height where it's like non-K-pop fan reacts to blank. And like these
Oh,
people that maybe didn't have a following before, they could get like a pretty good following or like a lot of views on videos just by saying, I'm a non-K-pop fan. I never like, seen any of this, but I'm going to react and tell you who I think is good. And I think it's like this idea that like if you're a K-pop fan, you probably stan somebody and there's like rivalries and things like that. So that might color how you feel about a release. So like if you stan somebody, it might be like, but you're like, hey, yes, kill it. Or like it might be like Figaro, and you're like, this is trash, man. I'm sorry, my ears bleed. Like just because it's like a group, one of your rival groups or a group you hate. So a lot of people were like obsessed. So like back in the day, VIPs would probably be like, yes, we got another one. But yeah,
oh snaps.
they'd like tell you to react to a lot of things too. Um, Andre said break is a YG stand confirmed. Um,
Nothing's confirmed, all right? Nothing's confirmed.
you're like brought into the wars. Levi scares me, same, but at the same time, I just think he is so. Which is crazy because I wasn't even like part of Levi Hive when I originally watched it. I was like, y'all are too obsessed. But like this, when I rewatched it and like watched the other two seasons at the time before season 4 came out, I was like, I see the vision. Who's your favorite Attack on Titan character?
Welcome, my child. Welcome to the Levi squad.
Thank you. I humbly accept.
Levi Hexhaw. Well, it's between Levi and like Erwin, honestly, because Erwin's fifth be wilding. Like he just Senso Sekayo. Like, let's go.
I was so excited. Oh my god, there's so many great parts in that show.
Yes, yes. We can talk about that all day. Let's not do that.
Oh yeah, we still have to wrap up the thing, but I want to read all these comments. Andy said, I feel like I would like My Hero Academia, but I also feel like I'm exhausted the whole shonen story with the usual tropes and the stuff, and I don't got time. I do like some of the characters though, and their designs. Same. I love.
Understandable.
I was definitely there more for like one of the things, and I don't know if this is a spoiler. I think I would have been more interesting. Now I don't know how they would do this because I'm not a writer, but part of me, I wish that like Deku never got All Might's power. Like I wish he like really just had to maneuver quirkless. I feel like that would have been such a more interesting story because not what I hate, but what I'm kind of like about a lot of these some shonen stories is that like it'll be this kid, it's just like I'm a regular kid and but then it's like but secretly I'm the chosen one, low key. And I'll admit that in Deku's case it was because like literally it wasn't anything inside him, it wasn't his lineage, it was just because like All Might chose him because he was like, wow, you're out here, kid. But like still it's just like, oh, okay, you go from having no quirk to literally being able to get the most powerful quirk of the number one healer. So it's just kind of like, oh, okay, girl, because I don't know, it's just kind of like, I don't want to get too deep, but it's kind of like I don't know. I would love to hear a story.
Keep going. You're actually spitting because I agree with you on that. Like as much as I like Jujutsu Kaisen, for instance, you eat the Thori the same goddamn way. Eat the goddamn finger, got a demon inside him. Oh, wait a minute. That's like Bleach. Freaking Ichigo Kurosaki got a goddamn hollow inside him and 5 other suckers. And then you got freaking Naruto. Oh, I got a 9-tailed beast. Oh, he supposed to be some dude, the knucklehead ninja, right? He ain't need nobody. Oh, actually, his father's Minato. This guy's actually the chosen one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just, this pattern happens a lot. So I get why you would get tired of it. And I understand getting tired of the shonen trope. If you watch enough shonen, sometimes you just can't really get into it because there's just nothing different. There's nothing different enough to make the show interesting enough for you to actually care to watch it. That's why like the side characters matter so much in a show and half the time, because usually the main character isn't the thing that is the driving force to make the show interesting. That's the thing. So like My Hero Academia, like I don't mind Deku, but I do like some of the side characters more than I like him. You know what I mean? So it's just it's that thing that you try to find that you can latch onto other than the obvious character tropes that they're doing. And I agree with you on the whole My Hero Academia thing too. They could have done this like a Batman type of story where he just had no quirk, worked on some type of technology and tried to make himself a hero by himself with his own skill because he really wants to be a hero instead of just sitting there like, oh god, I want to have a quirk. I can be like, oh my, right?
Barbie says, yes, this would have been so interesting. It would have been like Iron Man and I would like it more. Yeah, I think that's cool. Like using your brains or something like that. Like I know like there's super powerful people like in My Hero and it's kind of like, well, how would somebody without a quirk even stand? But I feel like maybe that's where some of the creativity comes in. Like how he has to maybe outsmart people, like use like, you know, really be strategic with it maybe. I don't know. Like I said,
that's literally his character actually, because he does make like notes and he's very smart about the quirks.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
He's a smart kid actually, so that actually would have worked. But you know, no, we gotta make him the number one hero, right? So this is his story.
Yeah, that's actually very funny because I watched it once again. I know the very basic about Naruto, but I watched this really great video essay. I love video essays. I'll literally watch a video essay about like how potatoes became brown or something like that, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. But there's this one where it was like why Rock Lee should have been like the real main character or whatever, and they basically talked about how like, you know, he truly was somebody who was like working from diddly squat while all of them have like these prestigious families, and I was like, hey, that's cool. Like I like that idea. Like it's like if that's
he has an adoptive father in freaking Mike Guy, like pretty much, because we don't even know who his actual father is. That's the funny thing.
Oh dang!
And it's just like he just picked them up. He's like, bro, you're gonna be like me, and you have no like, you know, genjutsu or ninjutsu, but you got that taijutsu, and I can teach you. Like his story is really good actually, so I can see why. Because he's my favorite character in Naruto.
I heard in Shippuden he basically gets paid dust.
A little bit actually, yeah. It hurts, all right. Look, it hurts, but my guy got something, so you know there's like the compensation I got right there at least. Like,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make this emotional moment. I'm sorry, I didn't watch it. I just heard. You're like, I have to cut this off. I'm sorry. Oh, no spoilers. Sorry if I spoiled on accident. What's the link to the video essay? I'll post it in Break's Discord after this because I do have to go searching for it. Hopefully I saved it, but it probably was a while ago, so I'd have to like look through my saves. Andy says it went downhill when Naruto and Sasuke were literally gods towards the end with their power-ups and everyone else is just there. Yeah, I heard that literally they have like the reincarnations of like Jesus, Mary, Joseph, all of them. Like it's like literally, and I was just like, all right, ladies, let's shut it down. I
mean, look. The story was still interesting because they did some type of more like I guess they did a lot more biblical references. Actually, ironically enough, so it became more of a religious type of thing where it was kind of going. And he didn't go full on, but it was interesting concepts that he was trying to do. But yeah, ultimately, there was these two. Well, let me not spoil. I don't want to spoil too much actually, but that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, they became literal gods in their show, and they couldn't be stopped. Like those two were literally the strongest suckers. Nobody else could truly actually touch them. So yeah, which is why Boruto is such a weird show for me. Like I don't understand the writing in that show because it doesn't make sense. It's like, yeah, I know he can be rusty, but boy has god powers. Like there's like a let me stop seeing.
Are they playing him? Are they making him come off as weak or something now that he's a dad with a pot belly? It's like I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's like a pot belly, but yeah, he appeared weaker, and then Sasuke somehow seems a little off too, even though this boy has been out in the world, literally traveling the world. So it's like he should always be ready for a fight. Yeah, it's like a still kind of like it doesn't make any sense, especially with their ability they got. Like he shouldn't even get touched. He shouldn't even get touched. I don't know how he's getting touched, honestly. But I digress. I don't want to swallow too much.
So they turned them into goofy dads. Maybe I'll just start from Boruto and see, because then it can only go uphill, right? I start from Boruto, go back read Naruto. It can kind of be like, what is it? The Star Wars trilogy. How you like don't get it in like
It's it'll be kind of like a roller coaster for you. Actually, that's probably what happened. Going a lot of ups and downs, right?
um. Oh, Andy says I will never give Kishimoto for what he did to Neji. Is that a spoiler? Is anyone gonna watch it?
It's not necessarily a spoiler because they didn't say what went on with Neji. So good job. So yeah, I can understand why you feel that way. You don't know what's going on, right? So it works.
Oh, I know what happened. Because my brother, he like read the manga like as it was like, being released.
Oh, like me then.
Yeah. So he would always tell me what happened. I'm like, okay. No, I'm like, okay.
About to do this.
So let's
we need to get back on track. We
all right. Stop getting us off track. No, just kidding. All right. So yes, episode 7, first part, they were playing some games. Now high for life. The second part, that was the episode where we have kind of like two different scenes that were flipping back and forth. We have Kaba, Miss Kura Senpai, Kura-san. We have him and Hirotaka. They go to drinks / dinner with 2 coworkers, and then Narumi and Koyonagi go to drinks or dinner or whatever. And so Narumi and Koyonagi were wilding.
Yes, I loved it. I was dying for that.
I was like, ladies, like, what I mean. So essentially, they're at dinner, and it starts off. Well, it really gets into it when Koyonagi mentions that she finished watching a show that Narumi had, suggested to her, and she was like, "Oh my god, that's so awesome!" But then they kind of come to disagreements because they have kind of like competing ships in terms of who they ship like the main character with. So they're kind of like, okay, girl, like I guess we're not gonna like link on that. But then
they never do. But by the way, see you later, Z. See you later.
Bye. Thank you for coming through. Oh, good luck on your physics final. Physics is the devil. Psych. Well, physics is really, really hard. That's something I struggle with. My least favorite science. But I hope you do well. Study hard. Yeah, we gotta go back to Wotakoi. We're like, what happened? But yeah, so basically they start to talk about if their boyfriends, Kabakura and Hirotaka, were in a ship. They're yaoi fangirls, y'all. So this was coming. They were debating on who would be the top and the bottom. So these girls are literally going at it, be like, no, my boyfriend would be a bottom, your boyfriend would be a top, or vice versa. And I was like, what?
It was funny. What's so funny about it too is that they were so loud, like everybody in there can hear them. It's like, what?
I was like, ladies, I've been hyped before, but we inside voices. But they were literally boxing, and I was like, no, like it was so crazy. But they were literally having this in-depth conversation, literally getting mad at each other, being like, you don't know what you're talking about. So I was like, these girls are wildin'. But
I just have a question though, like if you are into yaoi, right? Like, does that ever cross your mind? Like
tops or bottoms? Well, here's the tea. Well, I think in yaoi it's usually they like explicitly just say it. Like it's never like not up for debate. There are very stereotypical and I'm gonna mention problematic because we do have to like, acknowledge that. Tendencies. Like if it's a more light, maybe soft-spoken guy, that's usually the bottom, and then the top is usually the guy who's maybe a bit more outspoken, traditionally masculine, things like aggressive. So like usually it's pretty explicit. Like, I can't really think of one that I've seen where it was like I don't know, like but I don't know. Yes, definitely problematic. Like very like that's the thing. Like I feel like it's like people get really offended when people say, "Oh, it's problematic," and I'm like, first of all, it's not like you're gonna die if somebody points out it's problematic. And second of all, I think it's fair to have that conversation because there's a lot of problematic tropes that happen in yaoi a lot of times. But you know, people also enjoy it. So I feel like, and there's not all of the, that's another thing. Well, I guess they were technically talking about boys love, not yaoi. So I think yaoi
Yeah, I
tends to be
mean,
more explicit. Like boys love is just like, do you want to hold hands with me? Like there
yeah, but I
can,
mean, they were talking pretty explicit stuff though. I mean, they're
that's
talking about
true.
moms though.
That's
So.
true. I don't know. How do you guys define it? That's what I always thought it was. Like BL was like more, well, let's hold hands. And maybe there's like implied intercourse, but then it would maybe be more explicit if it was like yaoi.
I mean, I think
Educate me.
BL is like the general term, and it kind of fits for everything. Like it probably doesn't sound as bad either. You just say BL as opposed to like yaoi, because yaoi has a negative connotation in a way because people ain't trying to look at that like that. You know what I mean? So
Yaoi also kind of has like a connotation of being like smutty because I think literally if you break
yeah,
down
yeah,
yaoi,
yeah.
it means like no plot, no middle, no beginning. Like I think that's like the interpretation.
Maybe.
One of y'all know what I'm talking about. I remember reading about this. Um, yes, we are doing our thesis on yaoi and BL.
Where's my glasses? All right.
We will all be graded. Do I have glasses? Ugh, I need to find my glasses. But anyway, so they were just going at it. They were wilding. I was like, ladies.
Great
But
stuff.
I just love how they were because they were like, "Do you like picture your boyfriend in like BL ships?" And they're like, "Yes, girl, me too." I was like, "You."
I was like, yo, what?
Honestly,
Hey,
I was
what are y'all? Like,
like,
is this common? Like, is this what's supposed to happen?
"Listen, Koyanagi and Narumi, they're on another level." Like, um,
they're literally doing it back and forth right now, like Naru going Nagi right now in the comment section. I'm dying.
that's true. Liam put, if I never have to witness top bottom discourse, it will be too soon. LOL. Like I truly don't get how sexual positions define your whole personality. And I think that's part of the problematic because it's very, all right, y'all, this is about to be like a course, a culture course. It's very problematic because it's very heteronormative, even though it's claiming to be something that, is supposed to be celebrating like a homosexual relationship because a lot of it, you have to be honest, is placed in the idea is like, well, if it was a girl, the girl would be the bottom and the guy would be the top. So the more feminine one is going to be the bottom, blah, blah, blah. Very problematic. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming to my lecture.
Problematic.
You need to read chapters 2 through 28 by tomorrow, and there will be 41 pop quizzes. Anyway,
41 pop quizzes. I don't have any. I don't have enough notes.
well, you should have thought about that before joining my class. This is cutthroat. You will get no credits for finishing this class, so enjoy that.
Oh dang, ain't no point.
But yeah, I mean, there's like this whole. Well, we gotta finish this, y'all.
Yeah,
We said we got to Wotakoi, so we gotta finish Wotakoi, y'all. I'm sorry I don't make the rules. Welcome back, Chodello.
Welcome back.
We're still discussing Wotakoi, which is fine because hey, we're having a good time.
There's actually quite a bit of topics we actually are discussing too as we're going through the
I was gonna say
a recap.
when
So
I edit this to like try to post on my YouTube channel, I'm gonna be like, okay, all right, actual context. Okay, now they go for like a 5-hour tangent on why Sasuke and Naruto are the reincarnation of Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit. But yeah.
Oh crap.
So yeah, on the flip side, we have Kabakura and Hirotaka. Like I said, they're out at lunch with two coworkers. And essentially these co-workers are wilding as well because they're out here talking about Narumi and eventually Koyonagi. And essentially they're just saying, she's cute, but she's airheaded. And keep in mind, these two coworkers don't know that Kabakura and Hirotaka are dating Narumi or Koyanagi and Narumi respectfully. So they're just going on and on about how like, they're cute, but they're airheaded, and Koyanagi, they want to, see what she's working with or whatever, and X, Y, and Z. And so like the guys are kind of just forced to sit there and hold their tongues because I guess they don't want to say anything. So I was wondering, because there seems to be, and I don't know if this is maybe workplace etiquette, because I know a lot of workplaces have rules about relationships and stuff, but I noticed that like, both of them don't want anyone to know.
Yeah, which is kind of that's the thing about noticing with the show because it's like they're not really like they're all hanging out together, so you can make those assumptions something's going on there, right? But I mean, they're not really like they're not making it as public as you would think they would, I guess. But I mean, yeah, there is workplace etiquette. I think that's probably part of the reason why they're not trying to reveal it like that, I guess. But I don't know. It's at this point you again, they're always hanging out together. Like you would infer something. There's a group happening maybe there. I don't know. It's interesting. It is interesting dynamic that's not really being used at all. Like they're not really like that's just I don't know. Maybe it's too problematic or something. I don't know. They're not really trying to get too deep in that. I guess because this is a romantic comedy, so they're not really trying to make it too serious. I guess, which is why I don't think your talk is gonna die. But I keep just saying that. Right?
I feel like you're wishing it. You're gonna wish it. Like literally, the whole script's gonna like change and it's gonna end because you wished it into existence. Oh, Andy says maybe it's taboo. Oh, maybe. Yeah, because I guess it's like awkward because I think there's this really good video I watched where this girl was just talking about how like you should pride yourself in being able to keep some privacy. So this idea, especially at places like work and stuff like that you don't have to like spill your whole life. Like if somebody asked, what did you do on the weekend? You don't necessarily have to tell them in detail or something like that.
Just true.
Yeah. So it's like this idea. So maybe it's just like, well, if people know that we're dating, for one, if we ever break up, that might be awkward because then people know that we broke up. Two, maybe they just don't want people to know. Maybe it's just like not their business. That's one thing. But I think like
at the same time, it's like, wouldn't they? Like, is there not any gossip in there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you telling me there's no one's gossiping about these guys? Like, what's going on here? They're always together and yada yada yada. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you would think that stuff like that kind of would already kind of get out, and they would at least kind of discuss it, maybe. Because it's not like they won't say that they're boyfriend girlfriends. It's like it's just only when they're asked is when they'll actually say something because they did show that. But at the same time, you're also right too. Maybe just don't see why everyone has to know. That's what Andy's saying. So it's interesting because I guess I didn't really consider that really because usually like when you watch these type of shows, right? Like everybody knows, right? Like shoot, I was dating someone and somehow everybody knew. I don't even know how the heck everybody knew at my job and everything. It was freaking weird. I was like, I don't even know who you are. It's like, why does my AOM know this? It's like, what? But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, none of that's really going on. But maybe it's like also a cultural thing that's in Japan. Maybe they just don't worry about it like that. Maybe.
I'm trying to think if I ever had a situation where I worked with somebody or worked with people who like people were like two of them were dating, we were aware of it. Like I could only think of one situation and it was like we were all kids, like so it was kind of like, oh well, we were like 15, they're probably gonna break up in 2 seconds anyway. But like I kind of think for myself, like if I had a boyfriend at my job right now, would I tell people? Maybe, probably not. But I guess it's also how close you feel with like certain coworkers, because there's definitely like some people you'd probably know, or it would come up maybe because maybe they always see you leave together or something like that. But I don't know. Pam and Jim weren't shy about it, so no, just kidding. But yeah, get on their level, Kabakura. Anyway, no, just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. Would you, if you had like a work romance?
I mean, I guess probably not. I guess if I probably wouldn't, honestly. But I know it's gonna get out because there's nothing I can do. Like, it's just like suckers, like, oh, we suckers together, boom. And then like one sucker knows, then everybody ends up knowing. It's like it just spreads so goddamn quick. Like I don't understand how the heck this happens. And it's like, oh, you guys are dating and this and that. And then my supervisor might walk up to me because he's I'm pretty cool with him, like friends at this point. I've known him for a while, so he'd be like, hey, you're dating this girl, huh? And like it'd be a lot, all right. That's why I don't really want to do that.
That's probably maybe how they see it. They're like, it's gonna be messy. All these kids are gonna be up in my business. But I guess for the like, my whole thing was like when they were really getting into it and saying stuff disrespectful, instead of like wilding out, even though you could see he was on edge, Kabakura was kind of like, hey, maybe, go for girls that don't have boyfriends and stop talking to them. Like you wouldn't want somebody talking about your spouse like that or whatever, or significant other or whatever. And so they kind of shut them down. But I really thought he was gonna be like, hey, you realize I'm the one who's dating her, right? So shut that. Maybe he didn't want to embarrass her or make an awkward situation, but yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
Maybe. Also, maybe that's also a good little development for him, actually, I'm thinking about it, because normally he would actually wild out a little bit there, but he actually showed restraint that time around.
Yeah, that's true. He's growing. Kabakura is growing. Okay, King. Snap. I really can't tell. Like, Hirotaka, I love him because I can't read him. I didn't know how he was responding for that. Like, I didn't know if he was bothered, if he was kind of like, these bozos, Like I don't know what he was like emitting. Yeah, I don't know. That was interesting.
Yeah,
That
I
was
don't know.
cute. Okay, sidebar. What exactly do they do for work?
It's an office job. They do office work.
It's so funny because I think it's like the concept of like an office job is so weird. Because what do you do? And I work in an office, but like I know what I did. But it's just like when somebody says office worker, they're just like, all right, cool. And it's like, but for what? There's different kind of office work. But we kind of all get the idea what they mean. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's funny.
It's a lot of paperwork. They're sitting down at a desk, for a couple
Emails.
hours. Emails. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they do say, "Oh, I got some emails I need to like send out and stuff like that," or "I got to print these papers." Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't specifically say, "Hey, I worked at so and so. This is my exact position or something." Because I don't know if they're actually doing like the same type of work. You know what I mean? We don't really know actually. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
even know if they really work there. Maybe they didn't actually get hired. This is all just a stage play.
oh snaps.
Andy says, "What do you guys think of dating a coworker? I always wonder how it'd be at work if you broke up with them." Well, like I said, I guess I wouldn't tell anyone, like we kind of mentioned, like unless it just was like, I don't know, like maybe somebody saw us on a date and I was like, oh, I don't know how he got here. Like, I'm like, I don't know who this
What?
is. I'm sorry
Oh
to this man.
crap! Dang.
No, I'm not that cold. I'm not that cold-blooded. I think though.
They're like, "Oh, see you later."
I'm like, okay. I accidentally ended up in this booth. But like, I definitely think like the biggest deterrent would be like if we ever broke up, being like, especially if it was messy, that would be very awkward.
Well, I wouldn't really air out his stuff. I just know I have a friend. He's done that multiple times. He ain't working there no more. So, but when he was there, because he did, date a few of those people over there, it just made things worse and worse and worse. And people kind of perceived him a certain way because of the people that he dated and how he supposedly treated them and everything. So it made things a lot more difficult than it needed to be after the breakups for him to still be there at work, So yeah, that's part of the reason why he lost the job in the first place, because he was trying to deal with someone. So yeah.
Yikes. Yeah, that could create a problem. And I think, if you truly like your job and you feel like that might create an issue, then it's definitely, I feel like, maybe a no, because if you think it could make you uncomfortable, more uncomfortable than your job that you need to be, I think that would become like problematic eventually.
And then rumors are spreading around you about who you actually are and everything, and which may or may not be true is the other thing too, because everybody perceives things differently. And yeah, sometimes that slander happens and the slander becomes who you are. And you know how it is when someone thinks what you are, like they can't really change their mind about you at that point. So
yeah, that's true. So we're anti work relationships.
Yeah, don't do it. It's a trap, right?
Agreed. All right. So
yes.
agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of how that episode wraps up. So finally, 3 hours later, we're at episode 8. So this was a cute episode. It definitely reminded me of that episode of Oran High School Host Club where Tamaki and Haruhi and the gang go to that beach and there's like that thunderstorm. Because in this episode, there's like a thunderstorm happening while they're at work. And we learn that Hirotaka gets a little scared when that kind of stuff happens. So he's like wearing headphones to kind of keep himself. I'm gonna... this much. He's wearing headphones to try to like keep the noise out. And so it's kind of like this cute thing, like this bonding moment, because Narumi also like doesn't like thunder and things like that. So there's like this really cute moment. Were they in the bathroom or were they just in separate rooms? Because I wasn't quite sure. That scene where they're kind of texting.
They were both in the, well, I think he was in the break room or something like that, and she was in the bathroom. But I guess the break room and the bathroom like close to each other or something, I'm assuming.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, because he could hear her.
She was smoking and everything. Was.
But she was like, "You can't smoke in here," and he was like, "Shut up." Well, he didn't say shut up. He would never say that. But speaking of the break room, go follow or go join Break's Discord.
Oh, snaps! That was great. The transition, baby. Let's go.
But yeah, so we kind of get this flashback about like when they were younger and it was kind of thundering and they kind of like were able to comfort each other. So I feel like that was just like a cute moment. It was like really, really heartwarming. We got a little, was that one now? He came in, he had a little cameo on that. Best part.
Well, he wasn't in the episode, but they just said his name, and he was in preschool. So
Uh, Still, that wasn't the episode where they were talking about. Oh no, no, that was the Santa episode. Okay, sorry, I'm getting
yeah.
those mixed up. But that he was really cute in that one too. But yeah, so we just kind of get this moment. So that was just like the first part. But do you have any like I don't know things you wanted to add on that?
It was so nice. Like it really made me like Narumi a lot more after that. I was like, oh, she came through. Like she noticed there's something wrong with him, and she was like, you know what? I'll be late for work. Oh, not late, but I'll take the overtime for work in order to make sure he's okay. Like that was really nice. Like I don't know. Like just it made me freaking like her so much more in this anime. I'm like this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you need to do. Like even if we're like not together necessarily, because they're always friends and everything. So it's just like she already knew about this whole fear that he had, and she's just like, I'm always gonna try to make sure to comfort him. Also, she was scared too. She ain't really fond of like all that thundering and crap either. So they're both their comfort spots basically, and it was cute. I like it.
Me too. All right, so the second half of the episode we get.
That's true. Wait. Was that was that in the second part or the first part? Danny was saying it wasn't expecting, or wasn't explain how Hirotaka got his piercings. Because it wasn't in this episode. Because I know that.
So it was actually in an earlier episode. Yeah, I forget which one because I made a note of that when it happened. But I forget which one exactly. But it wasn't in this episode. It was like I think it might have been in episode 6 because when they were sitting at that table and she was like chatting to him, or maybe no, because he fell asleep after that. I don't know, but it wasn't that episode because I remember I was like, oh, callback, that's really good. I love how they made that like callback to it. But
and also
yes,
showcase that he was like trying to change because of Narumi, basically, because he saw Narumi with dating this dude with a bunch of piercings, so he's like, guess I can try that, and he's like, this is stupid.
That
so what am I
so
doing?
sad. I was like, first of all, I was like, oh my god, that's so cute that he's like been trying to like be with her, wanting to be with her for so long. But the fact that he was like, this was like, I tried to do this, I want to take it out. This was so dumb. Like it really was like, I mean, can maybe people don't relate, but I feel like I could definitely relate trying to change yourself in a way to be somebody's like ideal or to live up to some standard you think that will get somebody to like you, whether it's romantically or platonically or whatever, and then being like, this is not me at all, like what am I even doing? So I thought that was like made me sad. Which one had the Sailor Moon reference? Because that is so me. Was that like episode 4? Maybe 3? I know it was last week's set of episodes.
Yeah, it's the last week's set episodes, right?
Yeah, but that was so funny.
Yeah. But the second part, though, the second part episode, let's finish this up. Let's go.
Yes. So the 4 of them, so yeah, we have that beginning part where we see that, we kind of learn the backstory of why Hirotaka pierced his ears, because Narumi had a boyfriend or like a significant other or whatever that had his ears pierced. Then we kind of cut to the scene where the 4 of them are drunk at like a bar or drinking after work, and so Koyanagi is kind of pushing up on Narumi, like playfully flirting or whatever, and so like they kind of have banter about that, and so that kind of leads to Hirotaka asking Narumi like, would you be upset if I got drunk and went around and flirted with other girls? And so essentially she's like, that will never happen, so I don't have to worry about that. LOL. Thank you for the subscription, Cesar. Also, welcome to the stream. We're talking about Wotakoi, episode 8. Actually, I think this is pretty good. Anyway. But yeah, right now we're just talking about the last half. So yes. So he kind of like, gets in his feelings because it's kind of like, what's that supposed to mean? So he's kind of like walking around and he cuts to kind of remembering, I believe it was the night where they had decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend, where she was kind of like, it was that night where the bartender mistakenly thought they were together. And so like Narumi starts going on the like mini tangent about how like, no, like me and you together. Yeah, right. Like that makes no sense. I just want to keep you as a otaku friend. And so like he, that starts like running through his mind. So we can just put a pin in that because essentially it's like
Yeah, we are kind of discussed some of that anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, so the next day, there was that scene that I mentioned before where Hirotaka is kind of down in the dumps. He comes across Kabakura and Koyanagi. They start boxing as usual because they can't go a minute. And he kind of asked that question, like, what do y'all do when like I'm not here? Because clearly y'all weren't fighting. Why are y'all like this? So then we cut to a scene with Narumi. She goes to Starbucks. Of course, Nao works there. So they're kind of just talking or whatever. And during like her conversation with Naoro, Narumi realizes that her and Hirotaka haven't been on a proper date. They usually like do stuff that they kind of would have done anyway if they were friends, like go to anime conventions and play video games and stuff like that. And even when they do like
Yeah.
are home alone together, they're just like reading or playing games. So she's just like, what is this? So her and Hirotaka meet up. And they're kind of walking, and then at one point Hirotaka's like, hey, the stuff that we do, like, is that what you did with your other boyfriends? Like, is that how you dated other guys? And she was like, definitely not. We would go to the movies and stuff like that at the park. And so he's like, bet you meet Sunday. And then she's like, wait, what are we doing? And he's like, date. Well, I don't know what he says, but he says we're going on a
He
date.
just said a date. He just says a date though.
He's like, date. Ha 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 ha. No, he doesn't ask.
And she's like, Nani? Because she was already thinking, like, wait a minute, he ain't gonna ask me on a no date. That's not Hirotaka. Come on. She's all like laughing about it, like in her head. And then boom, this boy said, nah, fam. I'm already one step ahead of you.
But I really like that episode. That part where Hirotaka was kind of pondering about like I don't know because I was talking about this. I think this might have been before we actually started streaming, so I'm not sure. But like we were kind of talking about how like people who are a bit more like sometimes people or if people are a certain way, there's sometimes people will say certain things that might not realize it might be a little bit hurtful, to say stuff like that. And of course, like Narumi, she obviously wasn't trying to be malicious when she said stuff like that. But it's like,
Yeah.
especially with the stuff when she was like, oh, me and Hirotaka never. Like it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of cold. Like that's kind of me. Now I know you had a different like opinion. You were like, she probably didn't mean it too harshly. So
Yeah. But it's just like I mean, it still leaves me wondering because we're 8 episodes in, right? So it's like, what does Narumi actually think of Hirotaka? Like in this relationship, like it's a stupid question I always ask, but like, what are we? What is this exactly then?
mhm.
Because Hirotaka's making moves, right? You know what I mean? Like he's constantly trying to progress the relationship, but if you really think about it, like what is Narumi really doing in this relationship? You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
does she really see this as a relationship? Granted, she did say, yeah, that's my boy, like I have a boyfriend and everything and all that stuff, yes. So she does acknowledge the fact that, Hirotaka is her boyfriend, but it's like they're not like she's not making any type of move necessarily on him.
Mhm.
And like I said, it just makes me wonder, like, what's our thought process, honestly, at this point? Like, what they think? Because we already know exactly what Hirotaka thinking. We already
Yeah.
see where he's at. So it just makes me wonder where she is at mentally here.
Yeah.
So
And I could
that's where it left off for me.
Yeah, and I could see how that like, creates insecurities in Hirotaka because it's like again, like the when they became boyfriend and girlfriend, it was so like good doing business with you, Jenkins. Like it was so like, very like robotic and stuff like that. And then from then on, they've had really romantic moments, like very cute moments, but they're basically living life like they're still just like besties in a lot of way, like still doing like the same thing as we saw with like the type of dates they go on. So I could see it being like really insecure, and I think that's kind of what motivated Hirotaka to be like, okay, well, I'm not just gonna sit back. This is somebody that I want to be with, so I'm gonna make the effort to make this more romantic and show her that I'm the right choice. Like you can fall for me or whatever. But like I agree, it's kind of weird because like as expressive and wild as Narumi is, like you really can't pinpoint too much how she's feeling because she's just kind of like, she does blush and things like that, and like but like
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
yeah, but she's still not like outwardly doing anything honestly romantic, honestly, to him. Really, you know what I mean? They're
Mhm.
kind of just hanging out.
Yeah. Andre says Narumi seems like she's reciprocating his gestures, but not really like solidly acknowledging him as her serious boyfriend instead of a boyfriend. I could definitely say like
You
she's
got you,
being
you got you got to break
dated.
it up. Yeah, the boyfriend,
This is my
not
boyfriend.
boyfriend. Okay. Think, Mark, think. You gotta see that you're not actually the boyfriend. You're just a boyfriend.
I love that meme. That is like, did you see that they've been photoshopping other people into it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Twitter's the best.
I love
Andy
it.
says, I think because usually when you get a boyfriend slash girlfriend, it's a buildup of mutual feelings. So since they're more businesslike, Narumi is still warming up to Hirotaka as her boyfriend. That's true. I think sometimes it
Mm,
can go kind of awkward, maybe, or kind of just kind of like, okay, how do I act now? When it's somebody you've been close and comfortable with for so long that like you're just like, oh well, this was my friend, so should I be acting any differently? Like, does it warrant like me doing anything differently? So maybe that's a bit awkward.
yeah, maybe.
Oh, though
Mm.
they did kiss.
Yeah, but that was more because of Hirotaka.
That's true.
He's the one that initiated it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like anything that's romantic that's happened, Hirotaka initiated that, not her. That matters. So I'm just like, what's she trying to do though?
That's true. Leanne says, honestly, if I were in a relationship, I wouldn't mind just being a BBF type relationship before sometimes, or maybe a relationship, maybe sometimes improper romantic dates. But that's me. Okay, so like a more like we're besties, we do really casual dates and things like that. Maybe
Hmm.
like once in a while we do something right. That's too. I think it does, there's people who have different styles as well. But I think maybe in this case, they're like, this is, we haven't been on even like one really romantic
Yeah.
date where it was like very intentional. But I agree. I like really casual dates. I know like there's this whole like movement where they're like, don't go on a casual date. Like, don't let that be the first date or whatever. But I think if I know, like, I'd rather be more comfortable. Although I like fancy things and like dressing up and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Yeah. Your girl sometimes dresses up.
You want to go into a high-end restaurant, all right?
I love doing that, like, because listen, I don't want to break the bank, but like I love doing that all like once in a while, like just having night getting fancy and going to the Cheesecake Factory. Just kidding.
The Cheesecake Factory. Okay.
I've only been literally one time, but they do have bomb cheesecake.
Write
Going
that
to
down.
the
Write that down.
the Olive Garden, Chipotle. No, just kidding. But yeah. Oh, okay. BFF. Yeah. I agree. Like there's a lot of comfort in just having like a, hey, want to come to my house and we can just hang out and have it like a slumber party or whatever, or just like, casual like brunch morning things.
I mean, if he's saying that's be like the lazy dates though, it's like you're not gonna do anything extra. Like you're kind of just like phoning it in at that point, you know. That's how some people can see it.
I think for me, well, in my opinion, well, I guess for me, I think earlier dates, I like them being more fancy. But I think I can see how it could be weird if you're somebody who you were like besties with before, and then it's like, okay, well, we would used to like just crash on each other's couch all the time, and now you want to go to like, the Ritz-Carlton, or something like that. It's like maybe it can be a little awkward. But I think like early on, I like fancy dates just because I like to get fancy, but then like, I like splicing
And
it up.
I get you. I get you. I like to dress up myself, so I know how you feel.
Andre said it reminds me of a sketch from Black Lady Sketch Show where Robin Thede does this rap of "If He Don't Love You by Day 3, Gone and Set Them
Uh-oh.
That is really like I would say that there's a lot of dating lines like that. Like okay, I can't talk about this because I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a certain character in Invincible. Well, I don't think it's that. There's Amber in Invincible. A lot of people were mad at her
Oh.
because so if you guys don't know, Invincible is a show, a superhero show that's on Amazon about like this kid who's a superhero and his dad is also a superhero. You should just watch it. I know that was a bad like overview or whatever, but essentially there's a show and superheroes. But essentially there's this character named Amber, and the main character guy, he like is fancies her, and so he starts dating her. But he also has to, he's like a teen boy. He also kind of has to juggle being a superhero. So what tends to happen is that he doesn't want to tell her about his identity just yet, because it's like, we don't know where this is going to go. But because he's doing superhero things, he's always like late or straight up missing, things that they go to, or that she invites him to. Like she missed, like she was really late to a dinner with his mom. Their first date, he like pieces out for like an hour to do something. She's like, I was here in your bed. And so stuff like that keep happening. So she gets like increasingly pissed. And so there's like a reveal that happens that, a lot of people have been mad. But I think even before that, a lot of people were just like, oh my God, like, she's being so unreasonable and stuff like that. But I feel like there's like this concept about like, if he plays me once, shame on him. But if he plays me twice, shame on him, like me or whatever, where it's like, okay, like, like there's this whole like the movie He's Just Not That Into You, where it's like, at least from a girl's perspective, like there's this idea that like you should know when a guy's not into you, and you need to act accordingly, and if you stick around then you're getting played and that's on you, and blah blah blah. And I think that kind of works into the dates, because it's just like, if he's not taking you to the like Olive Garden and you're just doing dates, in his basement or like in his car or something like that, or vice versa, whatever the genders are, then he's not that into you, he's not that serious about you, or she's not that serious about you, etc., because they would put an effort and things like that. So I think there's also kind of like that way of thinking where like at some point, preferably like the beginning or something, the dates should be like somewhat fancy, or they're probably not that interested in you because they would want to impress you. That is just opinion. But like I see that kind of sentiment.
Interesting. You kind of make me wonder, like, where do you fall into that? Like, what do you think of Amber then?
He better spend a rack. I think, well, I think a lot of, just kidding. Unless he wants to. But anyway, I think with Amber, again, I definitely see the sentiment where like, people are very not, from my perspective, obviously there might be other perspectives, people are very not, and I think to young women, especially from my perspective or from what I've seen, people are not very sympathetic a lot of times to women who get played. It's like this idea, you should have known better. Like, if he was never calling you, he wasn't into you, why are you wasting your time? Break up with him, like, don't humiliate yourself, blah, blah. So I think with Amber, it's reasonable, because if you really think about it, like, take away the fact that he's a secret superhero. Imagine somebody that every time you invite them to something, they bail or are extremely late. Doesn't even have to be romantic if it's like just a friend that you're trying to hang out with. I think after a while, you're like, all right, this is kind of ridiculous. Like, this person is not like very much into me. So I think it's reasonable that she was like, well, it's kind of hard because on one end, he's like late to everything, constantly just bailing out. But then on the other end, when we are hanging out, he's like, oh my God, you're so great. Like, let's make out, blah, blah. So it's like you're getting this hot and cold vibe. So it's very confusing. But a lot of people would say, oh, they're just like manipulating you or whatever. They don't really care about you that much, like blah, blah. So I feel now, when we learned that other thing that we learned that she claims, I was kind of like, girl, huh? But I feel she acted very, very reasonably and accordingly. Like, it's like, do you want to be with me or not? Because it's getting really freaking annoying. Like that, you say it, but then like when I just want to hang out, you don't show up. So that was kind of my opinion on it. What did you think?
Okay, interesting. Because I mean, yeah, once that other thing came by, that's when it kind of made her point kind of null. It's just like, really now, because then you should be more sympathetic to the situation to some degree. But if you can't handle someone being in the position that they're in, then maybe you should step back from that. If that's not what you want, you know what I'm saying? Like, she needed to actively kind of make that decision, and she did to an extent. She did to an extent until again later, after the whole show was done and all. But I guess that's what I'm saying. That's where it makes her character kind of weird. That's why people dislike her, because it's like her decision making. At least in the beginning, I can understand it, because what you're saying is actually is correct. Because you're getting a hot and cold vibe. Why the heck are you gonna like stay within that relationship? Not to mention, like, okay, yeah, he's really into you when he's right there, when he is there, but it's like now you can't. He's off the face of the earth when he's not around you. He's like, what the heck? Like, why bother with this dude then if that's the case? So I understand where that comes from, but it's just like the rest of that. Other parts of that portion when it comes to her writing, it really off a cliff all of a sudden. I don't know why they did that, like
Yeah,
the way
that
they
was such a
did.
weird reveal. Like, I could see her still being mad when he says what he says, and she's like, so is that supposed to change it? Because I feel like it's like, well, you still need to like apologize and things like that. But like
Yeah.
from like a perspective of like what they had her say, just I personally thought she was just trying to save face. Like, oh well, I already knew, like, that kind of thing, like trying to like save face or whatever, not embarrass yourself. But like, yeah, it really didn't make that much sense. But I will say, similar to Amber, like if you knew, like, if that part, thing, why didn't you just remove yourself from the situation? But same thing for Mark. Like if you knew, and his crazy ass
Hmm.
dad was like,
Oh, he's very crazy.
he was even like, you're gonna have to learn how to balance this stuff or whatever. And I think that's true. Like if you knew that you could not tell this girl your identity, but you also, could not, because you're, being a hero, is more important than like hanging out, going to the soup kitchen with your girl. Like then you should have just broke up with her, because like running her
Hmm.
around is also not it. Like, and I feel
Yeah,
like a
because
lot of
he's
people,
also in the wrong too. Because he's
yeah,
also in the wrong too with that. He should have done better, and it's weird that that dude actually Omni Man actually has some advice, some actual solid advice for once. That was like the only time it was actually kind of correct when he was saying there, which he needed to have
exactly.
that balance. Now, the kind of balance he's talking about is not, one to worry about relationships, of course, but we'll talk about that. So yeah, like at the end of the day, one, this is like high school drama stuff, so it's like
Yeah.
obviously, we're gonna have these type of issues. They're gonna go back and forth, be confused.
Hmm.
This is just what it is. But yeah. Well, we did pretty good. I think we're all spoiling too much
Yeah, I was
when
gonna
it comes to
say.
this whole dynamic here. So honestly, Invincible is a really good show. It is good. Very violent though. Just for warning. I don't know if anyone
Yeah.
knows that or not, but it's very very violent. Like
Hmm.
lots of gore, is a lot of ink trails. And,
Hmm.
if you're not really into that, then I can see why you probably wouldn't want to watch it. But it's on Amazon Prime. Oh, you could watch that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
I think that's a great segue into our final segment. What are we watching? So
True.
yes, Invincible's great. I will say, I don't know, y'all see me in Outlast. I had to turn my head a couple times when I was watching Invincible. So if that's any like spoiler, in terms of like how you might like gauge like the aggressive goriness, hopefully that's helpful. But yes, is there anything else you're watching though that you want to share with the
Ac-
class?
Actually, yes, I do. Pick me, pick me. But oh, but yes, I'm watching Yasuke, which is a show that got on Netflix recently. It's about a black samurai back
Hmm.
in the era of like Oda Nobunaga and all that stuff. So what's interesting about it, and this is literally from the first episode, so this is not really spoiling nothing, but people initially thought this was gonna be like a Afro Samurai Champloo, more down to earth type of samurai story.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it's not that. It got mechs in there, baby. It got mechs in the show that was back in like these suckers are in like in the 1600s. Like, what are the how? What? Excuse me? Why we got mechs in this goddamn show? Like, what's going on here? But I watched 2 episodes of that so far while work was like extremely slow. So I was like, man, I can watch this show, and I did. And visually beautiful. Mappa did an amazing job visually, but I don't know about the story, so I don't necessarily recommend it necessarily. I will
Hmm.
I will say that, but I only watched 2 episodes. I think it's like a total of 8, so
Oh, okay.
it could get better, and maybe I won't mind the mecha crazy sci-fi stuff too much. But yeah, like it's definitely something, and the soundtrack's really good too because what's the goddamn name? It's not even coming to me right now. It's the same people that end up doing Kendrick Lamar's album on To Pimp a Butterfly. I can't remember the goddamn names at the moment, but they did the soundtrack for the show, and it's freaking nice. So that's also another nice little nod. Also the voice actor that's playing Yasuke, um, he's that dude. I don't know if you guys watched the live action Death Note movie, like the live action one we made in Netflix. He's that black dude that was L.
But
It's
Keith
that
Stanfield?
guy. Yes. Yeah, he's playing him. Okay,
Oh
yes, you know her
wow.
name. All right, perfect.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was in that Sorry to Bother You movie too. But it's kind of weird to think that he was in that. Who his agent? I hope he fired that agent because why?
He did
But
good actually though. He did good.
yeah, I think he did good for what he was given. I think it was just kind of yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I don't think his acting
think
was
about
bad.
nuances, and yeah, his acting was great. Like he did a good job what he was given. All right, like
Yeah.
he said, "I got dirt. Let me make this into a like diamond real quick." All right, like let me just. So he did his job. I mean, it's just like. And then Willem Dafoe was good in that movie too, but
Oh,
that's about
best
it.
casting. I was like, you snapped, Queen, whoever was the casting director. Go off. Because that was so good. Oh my God. And even like the
Yes,
CG animated Ryuk, that gave me nightmares.
yes.
I was
Oh,
like, oh
oh.
no. No, 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 no.
That CG was top notch, especially better than the one we had in the Japanese live action. It wasn't bad in the Japanese live action, but obviously, technology's better. So, and Willem Dafoe, chef's kiss when you add that to there. But yeah, he's voicing Yasuke, and he does a really good job from what I've been hearing. At least for the first 2 episodes, he's pretty good.
Oh, then I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Yeah, that sounds cool. Well, it's only 8 episodes, so I could probably like knock that out in the afternoon. I definitely want to, because there was a lot of hype around it, I think. So I definitely want to like check it out to see what it's about. But yeah, I would have never guessed that there was like a mecha aspect in it. That's really interesting.
No, I mean, no one did, but that's just the warning for you. But you might still like it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you can either get past it, or if you like those aspects to a show, then you might actually really like the show. Then, because
Mm.
right now, like I said, it seems all right from what I've seen for the first 2 episodes. But I need to see more before I make my full judgment. So I can't really recommend it yet necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily bad,
Mm-hmm.
but it did surprise me.
Okay.
Trying to think what else. What else did I watch? I've been watching. I watched a lot of goddamn crap.
Dang,
I
over
gotta
the
watch
past
something
week,
else.
I need to set my game up. I've been trying to read the One Piece manga. I'm not very far. I'm like in chapter 7. I think it's kind of hard because I had already watched this part in the anime, so I'm kind of like, okay, Captain Buggy, all them, let's go. But I'm in the middle of that part, and I actually did like I don't know if I'm emotional because I know everyone's like One Piece will get you in the heart right there, but I cried twice already, which is like,
Oh,
girl, nothing happened. I cried the one time. Is this a spoiler? I don't know. I
it's the
cried.
early stage. It should be fine. It should be
Okay.
fine.
When what is it? Kobe or Cody? Is it Kobe? Like the kid with the
The
glasses?
pink hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kobe.
When he was just like, I don't know, like when people are like, I want to like reach my dreams too, or whatever. Like when at the end when they like when Luffy did that thing where he pretended like they were enemies or whatever, so Kobe wouldn't get in
Oh,
trouble. Like when he was just like at the end, he was like, "Thank you, Luffy," like blah blah. Because I'm just like, oh, like now they're parting ways, and like he's gonna have his life and he's gonna have his, but like he'll always remember that. That just like really makes me emotional when when people come together for like a really beautiful story, like it's very inspiring, and then they have to part ways at the end because it was just like a
yeah.
clean, like there's no promise that I'll ever see you again. It's just like this was an adventure.
Oh no, no. There's a promise. Like if he decides to go on his journey and he becomes, what he becomes, they're gonna run into each other again because they're polar opposites. Unfortunately, that has to happen. They have to run into each other at some point.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but I guess because it was just like, well, in the near future we might not see each other, so it's kind of like, but you still
Yeah.
inspired me. So I thought that was just really really sweet. And then also the whole thing with Zoro and like why he has his 3 swords or whatever, that made me really emotional.
Oh,
Because they,
oh,
but the thing is, okay, this is a spoiler. Essentially, like it was this girl that he at what is it, a dojo, when he was like learning sword fighting, the senpai's like the master's daughter. She was really good, would always whip his butt. And then it was like literally one panel when they're like, she fell down the steps, she did, and it was just like, I was like, can we do this with some like class, please? She gets one panel. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna defeat you. Oh, I'm gonna get strong. I'll fight you to be the sword master. And then it's just like she did, and then he like, no, I'm gonna take your sword. Like I was just like, that's
do you
rather
want to hear a
quick.
theory about that?
She's not actually dead.
Well, see, there's the thing. There's 2 theories that's going on here that could happen. One, I'll only tell you one of them because the other one might be a little bit of a spoiler because you're not there yet. So I'll
Okay.
wait a second. But one of them is she didn't actually truly die from falling down the stairs. She is dead, is what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't die by that. She died by the master's hands because they didn't really want a female samurai to be, like the next successor to this, type of stuff. You know what I mean? They probably wanted Zoro instead. Then maybe is what it is. So
Oh,
they
Zora's
end up
been to
actually
be his.
eliminating her.
Zora's been to come for him if he's still alive when that happens. That, oh my god, if he finds that out, that's wild. That's so LP. Just be like, hey, like that's so crazy. Be like, I'm fit.
Because you also gotta remember too, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like they didn't show like her body like be dead, right? Like it didn't like they didn't like do a whole thing, right?
Oh, I'm trying to
Can't quite
remember if we
remember.
saw her in a casket or something. I don't know. I know we didn't actually see the accident depicted. It was just like, oh, she did. But like, yeah, I don't remember. Huh.
Yeah, cause I can't remember what they did exactly, but I just know that she fell on the stairs, and I know they didn't show it. So I'm like, did they ever show her body? Because I won't. Let me not say that either. It's not really a spoiler, but I need you to just experience that too.
Okay.
So you know, like, wait a minute, this is this is why there's theories in the first place about this. So I'll leave it at that. Actually, I'm glad you're reading it though.
Oh yeah, I'm slowly like walking through. I definitely think I like reading better because I can just whip it out anywhere, which is always good. Andre says he's watching Tropical Rouge, Pretty Cure, SSS Dynazenon. What's that? That sounds intense.
Is that what's that show? Because it was on Toonami actually not long ago. That me and my brother were watching that. It was like SS. It's like a grid band. There it is. Is that like the deck season for grid? If I'm mistaken. Because grid band basically is like this like. I guess you call it a mecha. Yeah, it's like a mecha. It's kind of like Power Rangers basically. If I'm making a comparison right now. So you got these dudes in there, and they form up, and they have to fight these things. Like it's something like that basically. And it's by Trigger, which is the same people that made Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann. Yeah, so their animation style is really showcased in there, which is what helps with the story and everything like that. Which why everybody really likes the kind of like they like the show the way it is because of there's like little subtle nuances within the show that you can pick up on, and it really helps build more of the story in the world that's going on there as well. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I just Googled it, but I'm seeing mecha. I'm seeing crop top. Okay, work. But yeah, I was gonna say that did give me like a mecha sci-fi, like the title gave me that kind of vibe. So I was like, I bet it's like a sci-fi mecha thing. But it looks really nice. This main character guy in the front, he's working it. Oh, and My Hero, Digimon Adventure 2020, and everything on Toonami. What's currently airing on Toonami, by the way? Because I haven't caught it in a moment.
All right, so here's the lineup right now. I think so. It's Dragon Ball Super because that always comes on first, and they need to just take it off of there. They keep freaking playing it over and over again. But they also have Attack on Titan, which I think they're probably going to take off soon because they got done actually airing all the episodes, if I'm not mistaken. So they just did that. That's the final season. They put Promise Neverland season 2 on there.
Take it off there.
You already know they ain't gonna do that, right? Like apparently, like. Hey, they say, hey, this is a popular show. This was on our block at one point. So there is that. What else is there? My Hero's on there as well. There's also My Hero. There's Food Wars.
Ooh.
Season 3, I think, right now. Black Clover and Naruto, and the last show is Demon Slayer. I don't know how the heck I remembered all that. Like that's the whole lineup.
Brava. Oh, that seems interesting. I think there's something like, I think in this binge culture, binge watch culture, I feel like there's always something that's just really nice to like, have like gather around, to try to catch it on TV. So I might like try to. I'm just so old and I can never stay up. Like,
yeah, I know how you feel. It comes on a Saturday, right? So it's like, if I'm trying to watch everything, I have to be up to like 2 a.m. And it's like,
exactly.
I gotta work tomorrow. Like, Toonami, please. Like, that's why I missed it. I hate the daylight savings. All right, I hate it because you and I are 3 hours apart. It makes the show. Well, actually, no, that's not true. It made the shows actually an hour earlier, so that's not true. But we're 3 hours apart, unfortunately. But I don't know. I need it to be sooner, darn it, because it's just like I can't watch everything.
Yeah, it's super hard, but I think that's cool. Like, you mentioned that's how you watch Demon Slayer, right? Or was it Demon Slayer? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe
my schedule's trash right now. All right, like the show comes on at 1 a.m. Oh no, 12:30, I think. And I'm supposed to work. I'm supposed to wake up at 4,
Oh
and
no.
I'm out here watching Demon Slayer.
You gotta make sacrifices sometimes. Um, Andre said that they're also watching the fifth season of Sailor Moon dubbed. Andy says, I
Oh,
mentioned this last time, but I think I'm gonna watch not rewatch Nana. Listen, our brains. I want to watch Nana soon too. Or
I
rewatch
have
Nana
never
soon
seen it
too.
either, actually. So I'm kind of
It's
curious.
so good. Great music too. But it's so like, oh God, it's so beautiful and then like really, really sad at times. Like it's definitely like a roller coaster, but I definitely would suggest it. It's one of my faves.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think every time I rewatch it, I get another perspective of it, which is so cool. Like, the first time I watched it, I was like, a kid, but then the second time I watched it, I think I was like 2019, and that's like around the age of the two mains characters. So it's like it was kind of like another perspective on that. And then like now, like watching it now that I'm 43, like I think it will offer another perspective on that too. Like it's just really cool. And I think that's like with a lot of anime, like watch maybe not something you watched as like a kid, but maybe you watched like a couple years ago when you were a bit younger, a bit maybe immature, and like see if you have like a new perspective on like characters, especially like in slice of life like type things, where like it's more like I don't want to say human characters because obviously like
Yeah.
other genres they can feel and stuff like that, but like they may have like more human um type like reactions and feelings and emotion that are like the messy side of humans. So kind of see like your perspective on how you feel about those characters or like a plot point or something. I think coming back to that is always so interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of pretty much what me with Attack on Titan, because like every time I rewatch it, I literally get something else out of it every single time. Because the guy's writing is just so goddamn good
Mm-hmm.
that he put so much in the beginning stages of the show that you don't even realize until you go back to rewatch and you're like, holy crap. Like this man's a genius. Like, and Wit Studios did an amazing job adapting this. Like, man,
Yeah, it definitely is so good. Like it's just so good. And like I know people are like, it's not that good. You guys are you all like there people are always complaining that people overhype it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stand in it and say I think it's very good. And even if you don't like it, I think we can all appreciate if you're uh a fan of like the mystery genre, which is crazy because it's not even really a mystery, but I think if you like mysteries, you will like the way the story is told and broke it down and trying to find out, the backstory before maybe it's revealed and stuff like that. It's just so good because I definitely, if it was just like they slice things and it's very cool, I don't think I would be that into it to be honest. Even though they have like beautifully animated, awesome scenes, I would be like, okay, very cool. But I just think that that whole mystery is just like every time I'm finding out something new and I'm just like, who was right, who was evil, and stuff like that. And like, I stand Aaron down, but I was really finna fight him this last season.
you're telling me like after what he did to my girl, I was like, I'm not on board anymore. I'm off the ship. Like I can't. How dare you? All right?
Exactly. Like, no. And even
That's
Armin,
what I'm
no.
trying to say.
Um,
Yeah, exactly. I'll always stand it until the day I die at this point. All right. Like the
yeah.
way this show was structured, this dude had a plan. He executed the plan. And the plan went down flawlessly. All right. This is how you structure a show and have something to kind of go on for a long time in the first
Mhm.
place. And I'm just talking about like you can not like the show, right? There could be things you just don't like. Maybe you don't like the action or whatever the case is. Just like the writing's still really good in the show, though, is the thing. So it just if you could at least appreciate that and that mystery, like you're saying,
Mhm.
because it keeps elevating. Like he knows how to elevate the mystery more and more and more. And then it's like if you like the action on top of the action, because the action is great too. It's like it has pretty much everything you're looking for, really. You know what I mean? And it's not
Mhm.
really hard, especially to get into initially, because like the way the first season structured, which what he was thinking about. All right, he knows that this is what people are probably going to look for and try to gravitate to, which is part of the reason why people were kind of getting thrown off by the show, ironically enough, when like the other seasons came through, because they were more looking for, I want to see people attack Titans like the whole time. But the show evolved and grew up and knew what it needed to do. And the
Mhm.
action's still there. And Titans are still there. It's just, there's just more to it than
Mhm.
people want to sometimes give it credit for. But, now we're out here just freaking, going crazy for Attack on Titan, so let's
Yeah,
not do
but it
that.
deserves it. I'm sorry, Bobby was like, "You're not 43 years old. You're right. I'm 65." I don't know. I really do like kind of forget my age a lot of the time, so I just say whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really think about it that much because I guess it doesn't matter once you reach a certain age. Like, you know what I
Then
mean?
it's, I mean, yeah, I mean, so I'm 1 year off from a bad number that I don't want to be.
That
All
is not,
right.
no, we're destigmatizing it. We're destigmatizing it because I feel like there are so many cool people in their 30s who just like chill, still have fun, still whatever,
Oh, she just
whatever.
said it out loud.
Us,
Oh.
listen, no, because you know what I always do? Some of the coolest people I know are 30. Some cool people I know are not, but like some people, like, like it's just like I feel like there was always this concept that like when you hit that age, or like a bit older, you like no more fun for you. CNN and Soylent and granola bars from here on out. Like it's just like
Oh
you
God.
gotta be boring. But it's like I see like cool people, like some of the like for example, like there's this especially like I think in cult like nerdier cultures like this, everyone sees it sometimes. Certain people see it as childish, so they're like, you better give up these hobbies by the time whatever. But like one of the things that like I guess not that I look forward to, but like that always motivates me when I'm like, am I getting too old for this? Is like basically all the cosplayers that I really like are like in their 30s. So it's just like, well, they're having a
Oh
good
really?
time. Yeah, like well, the ones I admire and like make a name for themselves, like Meg Turney and like Jessica Negri. I think she just turned 30 like sometime this year. Yaya Han, like she's been killing it forever, and it's like a lot more and more women. And to be fair, I've a lot of them I've known for like I've been following their work for a while, so obviously they're gonna eventually like hit that age.
Yeah.
But it's like they're having fun and things like that. And it's just like there shouldn't be a age requirement for like having fun. So
Yeah. Like
but
I don't know. It's just like, there is that stigma there, and it's just like, man,
yeah. And
I just don't
it's
like it. I just don't like getting older, right? Like I like this
because
age.
like you know what happens if you don't turn 30? You're not alive. So like I feel like I hate that people like put this like you're 30 or like you're like it's like yes, because that's how aging works. Like once I was 22 as well, and then I turned like 25 and then like that's how aging works, That's how you like grow. So I really hate that kind of like you're turning this age, you better start doing something. I'm not sure what, but I want to scare you. Like I
Yeah, because
hate
you're
that.
supposed to like at that point too, like already know everything that you want to do in your life and kind of already have stuff together. You know what I mean? Like they kind of like there's that certain stereotype and stigmatization that's there. That's like
Hmm.
you don't have you're 30, you don't have this like you've been doing with your life and stuff like that. And it's just like, bro.
Yeah. And it's like I hate that because it's like so you want to help or you just speaking to speak? Like it's like what is your point? Like I think like it's just really annoying because first think about it. If the average person lives till they're like 80 these days, like 70 or 80, then like 30 like you still have like so much time. So imagine they're like you have to understand what exactly you want to do for the next 40 years right now or there's something wrong with you. You know how like much you're going to change from like 30 to even like 35 to 40 and blah, blah like that. Like I'm literally a whole new person I was last year. So like think about 5 years from now. Like it's such a dumb, I feel like
Sure, sure.
fear mongering tactic to be like, you're in this age and you don't have a blah, 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 blah. And also like there's like things are society we live in a society and like it's really different. Like, right? Like so what was the norm for like even 10 years ago is not necessarily the norm for now. Like I know a lot of people are like, my 30, you have to be married with 15 kids or whatever. And it's just like, well, what if I just don't want to do that? Or what if I'm just not interested in that? And like, I think especially with the kid thing, you gotta have money for that, to be able to.
Yeah.
So like you're just telling me I should just have a kid now, even if I don't feel like I'm financially like secure enough to do that or whatever. Like people are so weird. And it's like also like at the very, very bottom of everything, mind your business. Like, mind your business. Mind your business. Thank you. Thank you.
We got covered up for her.
Hear ye, hear ye. But yeah, wait, sorry. What do you guys think about the comparison to Code Geass? Yeah, I don't watch slash read AOT. Attack on Titan, but I did see people talking about the ending online and comparing it to Code Geass. You, I haven't watched Code Geass, so I
I've
don't know.
watched Code Geass, at least the actual like full anime. There's like other like spin-offs, but I never watched those. But I see. Here's the thing: I didn't finish reading the manga because I'm at this point. I don't want to spoil myself. I just want to kind of just experience it at this point. But I do have an idea. I think I'm not sure if I'm right or not with the idea that I've seen. Like of course you can't really avoid some of the stuff.
Spoilers,
So
yeah.
yeah, I haven't gotten like a true spoiler yet. So I don't know exactly what's going on. But from what I can tell, I can see why they're making that comparison if that's what I think Aaron is doing. Because if that's the case, then okay, there is a comparison to be made there. But that's like I mean, that is the main theme of Code Geass. You don't know what Code Geass is all about, which is great because that means you don't know what I'm talking about. Because if you know how the whole thing ends, that will give you an insight of what maybe how AOT supposed to be ends. I have no idea. Like I said, I haven't read the manga, so I don't know if that's what Isayama ended up going with or what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I just know people didn't really like the ending. Ironically enough, I kept seeing people like saying this is not that good, and people started complaining again. So I'm just like, I kind of want to see and experience it for myself at this point because I don't trust certain people's opinion at this point with this stuff because everybody loves just to complain about just about everything. So they don't really try to actually look at the deeper meanings of some of the stuff that's going on. Sometimes it's just it's usually always like a near jerk reaction that just happens usually. So I don't know. So like I said, I don't know if that comparison is actually true or not. If it is, then cool, I guess, because that means it makes it very. I guess you could say almost anticlimactic in a way. If it's like, yeah, exactly. If it's like the ending for Code Geass, that's the problem. So though, granted, Code Geass ends very well. That's the thing. It's just that spinoffs honestly really hurt that goddamn ending. I don't know why the heck they did that, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Yeah.
Okay. I hope it's not anticlimactic. I think I'm a bit afraid because I feel like, and I don't know if it's because I'm doing such a good job at avoiding spoilers, but I feel like I don't see people talking about it, even though the manga ended, as much as I think people would talk about it. And it's giving me the same energy as when the Promised Neverland manga ended. I feel like people discussed it intensively for like maybe like a week and they're like, all right, well, there's the diehard stands. I don't want to say that because there's people who are like, this is the best, but then people are just like, well, that was it and bye. So like, I'm afraid that meant either everything went as people maybe who are reading the manga predicted it how to go, and so like there's not much to discuss, or like people just didn't like how it ended, which I'm a bit afraid of. So but yeah,
I'm scared.
me too. I mean, I think I'll enjoy at least like, the remaining like battles, I feel like, because even at the end of season 4, when you know who and you know who were kind of like squaring up, I was like,
let's go.
But
I
was hype, but yeah, I still think there's a lot of like mystery. I hope, but it's not like, because that was one of the other beefs I had with the Promised Neverland, is that when it resolved, there was some stuff that it never even like really mentioned that were like seemed kind of important. They were just like, okay, forget about that, moving on to something that matters. And I was like, what?
Yeah, creating plot holes, that's what I want to do.
I was literally reading to find out what happened to like this person or this plot point, and they're just like, no,
about that person.
You thought.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Andre says, shoot, I'm already feeling old and I'm 2 years off from being 30. Had my 5th year graduation anniversary, and then I found out today, 10 years ago, I got accepted into college. I'm literally an old man. Well, listen, join the nursing home. We're with you. Listen, I feel like it.
We have pudding.
Rice pudding. I think, especially when you start doing that comparison to like, because like school is like a big event. So like, I feel like time out of school is always like a big like, way of measuring like, am I old or am I not old? So I feel like that will have you shook, but it's just so crazy because like what I always think, and I know like you shouldn't be like, I'm baby, like you shouldn't like, life shouldn't be like surrounded around the fact that you want to be baby, but like, I don't know, you're always younger than somebody. So like, I remember somebody saying this, but like when like the 60-year-old women at my work be like, oh baby, like, oh child, I'm like, you're right, oh baby, oh child, wee! Like, so just think, You're younger than a 40-year-old, but not that it matters that you're 40.
Oh,
You know, you can be great at any age. So it's just like you're a bit baby. And I think a lot of the times, it's only when you get older when you realize you were like freaking out about nothing. I remember when I was younger, I was very bent on being a famous pop star, right? But I was like, I know that's not a realistic goal. So I will give myself till 16. And if I don't make it at 16, I have to throw in the towel. I'm giving it up. You're too old. In retrospect, girl, you could barely even walk, like at 16. But like back then, it was like 16 is so old and mature, and like 16, like teen pop stars like Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears, those were like, my idols and things like that, like Beyonce and stuff like that. So I was like, oh yeah, if I don't make it by 16, I will be a has-been. So it's like in the moment you're probably like, that's so old, but then like when you're 35, you're like, I was 3. Like, like even now, when I thought I was like walking around like campus all tough and bad as a 21-year-old, I'm like, get out of here, freshman, it's grown people hour or whatever. And it's like now when I see 20-year-olds, I'm just like, do you want a bottle of milk? I don't know what you want me to do for you. Like, there's some
a
cookies.
bottle of milk. Oh,
Okay, maybe not that extreme. I don't want Gen Z to
God
beat me
dang.
up. I don't want Gen Z to, I don't know. What do they do?
They
I don't
come
know.
up for you, sucker.
I don't want them to renegade on my forehead or whatever. But yeah, so I feel like in the moment you feel like you might be old, but like think in retrospect, like yes, if somebody said you will be in jail for 28 years, that was like, oh my God, that's a lot. But also, the world has been around for billions of years. You know, God willing, you'll live to maybe you're like 60 or 65 or something. So that's a lot of time. And you only lived a bit of it. So if that helps,
Yeah.
what do you think, Break?
Oh no, you spitting. You're right. Honestly, you helping me out with my decrepitcy. Sorry. I mean, that age, you're always getting up there, but you're right. You're
Hmm.
right.
But
I can't even disagree.
I also think, oh, thank you, Leanne, for hanging out. Have a nice day. Everyone say bye to Leanne. I hope you have a nice night. Um, Andy said, oh, Andre said, I've been called a grandpa by some of my friends anyway, because I'm the oldest of my friend group. LOL. It's so crazy because, like, I feel like sometimes I can actually, like, certain things can actually get to you. Like, it's like, okay, guys, wait, do you really think I'm that old? Like, even if they're playing around. But yeah, I'm like not the youngest in my friend group, but I was a grade under most of my like friends that I hang out with. So like I seem younger. So like it's always like this thing because I have like a birthday the farthest. Like I'm the last one to turn the age we all turn each year.
Okay.
So I never had that situation, but I definitely think like maybe if I was like hanging out like at a con and you meet random people and then somebody's like, if I'm like 26, they're like, "Oh, I'm 20." I'm like, all right. Like, well, I mean, it's not like I was like trying to get my money with things, so I might still hang out with them. But I was like, huh. So people 20 are just like walking around, I guess. Okay, cool.
They're just walking around.
Being grown adults. Um, Andy said.
Living us.
Andy says, when I was younger, I wish I could hurry up and be an adult already, and now it's the opposite. True. I
Facts.
scammed myself.
Facts.
Yeah.
God, why? What's wrong with us?
No. Yeah, it's so hard. Although I will say that, like, when I'm like, I'm getting old, I'm also like, but this is actually a really fun time because, like, remember the time where you had to, like, ask to go literally anywhere, or like you didn't have your money to buy the things you wanted to have, or
True, true.
like you had to everything had to go through your parents or whatever. Like that was a
Yeah.
lot. Like I don't think I could do that again now that I'm an adult. So it's fun. It's fun. Like, it's fun. Like if I wanted to, obviously I have to take PTO from work or whatever. But if I wanted to go to Japan, like there wouldn't have to be like 6 obstacles to go through before I actually could go to Japan. Like I don't want to need a parent signature or anything like that. I can just go. I think
Yeah.
when I was so like I started going to cons again in 2019 after like not going since I was in high school, and like the sheer difference because before it was like my parents wouldn't want me to go alone, so I had to go with a sibling. When I was younger, sometimes they had like consent forms you had to sign, like all like I couldn't stay out late, like I had to do X, Y, and Z curfew and stuff, and it was fun but very restrictive. But like when I started going as like 20s, I was like, whoa. Well, I wasn't that crazy, but I was just like, you know what, the cons in 2 days, I didn't even hear about this con, but I want to go right now. You know, let's go. Let's get a hotel. Let's blah, blah, blah. Ooh, I want to go. I want to be in the masquerade. Let's go to the masquerade. Let me get some, you know, fabric. Let me be a cosplayer. Let me
You
post
got thing
something.
going.
Yeah. Let me post stuff on the internet. Like, you know, I don't have to have any tradition. What do you think?
I just wish I had many cons like you. Like we got like 3. So we don't even have that many, right? So and it's not even, and like a lot of them are like freaking far away and crap. Like, I have to take like a 2-3 hour drive just to get over there
Oh
and crap.
no.
It's and the stuff be kind of expensive too. And it's like trying to get and then you want to try to like get a hotel, right? But then that's like even overly expensive too because they hike up the prices because they know suckers gonna be there, and it's like, bro, okay.
They be having those
So yeah,
con discount rates that are like 2 cents off the regular thing. Like it's so like, yeah.
what the heck is that?
And then it's like
I do want to go to a con where I can actually go at like stay at a hotel though, because I haven't done that yet. You know, I've always just went back home after the fact, but I want to be able to go to a whole con like all 4 days. I've the most I've done is like 2 or 3, I think. No, it was like 2.5 because I went there like on a Saturday or something like that, and then I did Sunday, Monday because they had it like that at one point. So that's like the most I've been con wise. Like I want the full experience though. I want to like be there, you know, like full force, like you've had. Like I don't know. I want that to happen at some point. All right.
It's
There's a lot of cons
fun.
over there. That's why I'm like, like whenever the
Yeah, I
cons
was gonna
open
say.
up, let's go. Let's
I'll
go.
show you a
Right.
good time. Yeah, it's really be popping over here. I don't know why, but yeah. And honestly, I definitely get that sentiment of like only staying a couple days and be like, I wish I would have been here longer. But there's also the opposite because I went to Katsucon for 4 days, maybe 5, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. Get me here by the end. Even though it was really fun, I was just tired. I was like, I want my own bed. I don't want to pay $15 for 3 nachos, please. Like,
it's so true too. Really, you spend an arm and a leg just for a goddamn hot dog that's like the size of like this size. Like it's like a what?
oh god, and don't let it be certain one of these cons that be bougie. Some of these cons that be bougie. At Otakon, they have like this like thing in like the hotel where like you can't bring in any outside food. So the only food you're allowed to use, yeah, which gets really confusing because it's like it's connected to a hotel. So you're like telling me I can't like, you know, use this way to go up to my hotel room. Like it's very, very weird, but you can't because I remember when I went in 2019, I literally had to eat my Sbarro pizza outside on the dang like corner. I mean, granted, you could hide it in your purse or whatever, but I was like kind of far away, so like I didn't, you know, have my purse with me. I don't really carry purses, but I was just like, please, nobody look at me. But yeah, so it was just kind of weird. Yeah, it was a mess.
Well, man.
But it was fun. I think we would have a blast because I think that's the best way to enjoy cons. I used to go to a lot of cons alone because I had no friends to go with. Which was fun because I really like traveling alone, don't get me wrong. But, you know, there's kind of like lonely parts when you're like trying to, you know, like, you know, chill or whatever. Some people might come with their own crews. But when I actually started making friends that I could then like re-link up with or like inviting like my friends, my college friends and stuff like that to go, I think it became fun and it also became very cheaper because splitting costs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Splitting costs is a must. Yeah, so if you ever want to go.
All right. I'll take you up on that then.
Let's see. Jadella says most of my coworkers are in their teenage years and are so surprised when I tell them I am 20. They say I'm the one of the youngest looking members of the team. People who look young, I feel like it's just so funny because people are just like when like I don't know. It's so crazy because I have my friend, well, Jazz, I guess. She also gets that a lot too. She looks very young. I feel like she looks very young on screen, but I think she looks older when she wears makeup, which I think is funny because I feel like it's supposed to do awkward.
Yeah, it's
like
the opposite actually.
So she looks a little older on screen, but like I think IRL, she looks very young. But like
I want to make a guess. I want to make a guess on how old she is. She's like 24.
Is that your final answer?
Yes. Yes.
And the results show you're incorrect. This looks like a death note, so you must die. Anyway. Kill him immediately. So that's the end of the show. Break's dead. Y'all didn't see anything. Don't be narcs. No, she's 26. We're same age, friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
But she
okay.
like
Okay.
she was telling me one time, I forget what I think people were like helping her move or something like that. And the one of the movers literally thought she was 15. And her
Oh,
sister
okay, you don't look that young now.
she does, I think that's real life because like she has a very baby face and she also has really good skin in the way that somebody like young that just like did not like face the trials and tribulations of like the world has good skin. Like I always say that I'm just like you don't need any foundation, you look so good without it or whatever. But she was really good, so I think that's it. And she's also small. Well, she's 5'4", so
Oh,
she's small to me. But I think she's also because she's smaller. I love
that
how we're
could
just
be it.
discussing her whole entire
I know,
anatomy.
right? Well, if you're
Oh,
here, yeah, say hello.
hi. I think what's so fun about like, you know, this community is that we're all like around the same age. I think that's
Yeah.
really nice. Like I always like say, oh, the K-pop kids are fighting, the stands are 12 or whatever. But like I feel like it's like the exact opposite. Like, oh, my community and people who watch my videos. I think it's because I started youngish. I think I started my channel when I was like, well, my first channel I started when I was like 16, but like when I was 20. So people kind of like grew with me. So if
Oh,
you
what
like know
the?
me from then, you're probably a bit older or whatever. But it's always nice to be like, oh, I'm 26. Oh, you're 26. Oh, you're 28. You're like, oh, okay, well, you know.
Yeah, it's all kind of just like it's just. I like this. I like this. You know,
Yeah.
makes me not, again makes me not feel so old. Right?
Yeah. Also, I feel like age is a social well, no, I shouldn't say that because there's some people who will take that the wrong way. Age is a social construct,
Oh wait, I know. I know.
but not like that. Don't
Wait,
y'all.
we gotta don't say it because you get canceled. All right, don't do
Okay,
this.
watch yourself. Andre says, I've never been to a con because I'm either too broke to afford even just a single day ticket, or it's on the day that I'm working or otherwise occupied. And now with COVID, I'm really not going to cons. Hey, I will say it. Some of the discourse that I've been hearing regarding people who are planning to go on cons that are still up and get it, you know, up and running. I'm like, okay, you just, you know, if I didn't think I was going, you know, before, I'm definitely not going now because y'all are wilding. Like,
hmm It's
people's,
like they do know how cons are, right? Like you've seen how people are packed in there, right? You do like these guys ain't washing themselves. Like, come on, there is the you know
stinky.
there is that stigma there, like, so that you know they think they like tacos gonna be washing themselves, but there are some suckers there that just I don't know what they're doing. Like, sucker, come on, man.
It's honestly scary how accurate it is. Like, I will say some cons. Like, I don't think I smelled any funk at Magfest or Katsu. But there's definitely cons that I like come in, I'm like, oh, like I'm like, we're really doing this? Come on, guys. Come on. And it's like sometimes it'd be like on the Thursday. I'm like, we haven't even been here yet. We have to get to the bottom of this. Like, how is it already funky on Thursday?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is the beginning stages. Like you're not even. This is round one. What's gonna happen if you go into round five? Like, what's gonna happen? Is the place gonna blow up from your stench? Like, what's going on here? God dang! I didn't come here to get freaking kung fu punched by Bruce Lee. This is not what I'm looking for, right?
Really, because the funk be uppercutting you. Like literally it's on some and I'm just
It's a
like,
surprise uppercut too by Mike Tyson. He just said, "How you doing?" Boom, and just knocked you out all of a sudden. You're like, "Holy crap!"
truly a mess. Truly a mess. Um Jodella says boomers be like, act your age, you're not four. Like I feel like I hate that act your age is just like a way to shame people for having fun. Like it's like
Pretty much.
what? Like I feel like
Like,
that's where I hear it used the
you shouldn't
most.
be doing that at your age. You should be eating your pudding pops, sir. Go over there. Get in your rocking chair. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, and this is the thing, like this idea that you can't, like even with some like otaku stories. And I think I really like this one because it's like they enjoy their, you know, otaku stuff. And then they also are, you know, functioning society. Like this idea that like you have to be this like, you know, immature or like you know, irresponsible person who like instead of, you know, paying for rent or paying for like your groceries, you go buy like this $1,000 figure or something like that. I feel like that's what's usually depicted when you like see a nerd. It's like you're too obsessed, you don't know when to set your boundaries. And it's like people, you know, have budgets. specifically so they can buy the fun things they want and then still like,
Exactly.
yeah. So like this idea that it's like we're all crazy and stuff like that. I feel like that's such like a like I can see why people like if it's like a stereotype, I can see why people would assume people into this stuff are immature. But I feel like that's just like a small amount of, you know, the
Of
Wotako
what's actually
world.
going on here. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Andy
Yeah,
says,
like in Wotakoi. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like that's a lot of us. Like, you know, we do that during the weekday. We work in our office jobs, nondescript, sending emails every hour on the hour. But then we like, you know, have fun. Like I remember I used to whip my well, when I used to ride the bus, back
Oh.
before. Yeah, I used to whip my switch out and I feel like people would be like, girl. Although I think maybe people are more like older people, but I think people are more like understanding because it's like, well, it's portable. Where else am I gonna play it?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Like more people are becoming more understanding of the fact that people play games. It's the thing. Like I mean, you're gonna play games. It's not just for kids at this point. Like there's full on adult stories going on here. This is another medium that's like a movie at this point. So it's
mhm.
like that stigma is slowly going away finally. And hey, at the end of the day, play your goddamn Switch. All right, that's what's for.
Exactly. I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. I'm not hurting anyone. And you know, maybe you want to get in on this and you're just a bit jealous, or maybe you're projecting because whatever nerdy thing you wish you could do in public, you feel like you're judged for it, so you're gonna judge others, you know.
Exactly, exactly. That's facts right there. And he said, "Wow, have we come full circle?" Yeah, actually, yes,
Oh
we have. We
yeah,
went full circle, went right back to Walter Coy. That's perfect.
that's perfect. So I think we can wrap this portion up now. Thank you. Oh, we went 4 or 3 hours. Well, two and like 43 minutes. But
Yeah.
that means we are watching the last episodes of Wotakoi, 9 through 11. We've made it through. We made it through the wilderness. Let's see how this ends. I'm really
Yeah.
excited. I know it won't
Looking
be
forward
super.
to it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I said I probably won't be super dramatic. Like, despite your wishes break, Hirotaka's not gonna die, no matter how much you wish it. But I think something crazy might happen. At least like, you know, climax. Like Hirotaka might walk in on like Kabakura like trying to make out with Narumi, and then he's like, "No, no, 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 no." And then like,
Well, see, that's the thing. Well, see, you haven't watched live action because that's what made me wonder. Because there was something that happened in a live action, and I know they adapted quite a bit. So I'm just wondering where is that at then? If they're doing that, unless that was like an original thing, because I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but I know they adapted certain aspects of that show or the manga into that movie, which why it was good in the first place because they structured it in a certain way. Because the way it's structured is way different how like the anime is. So I'm wondering if that ends up actually happening or not, but I don't know.
hmm.
You could be onto something. Oh,
There's infidelity, there's adultery. Well, I guess it's not adultery, but there's infidelity.
dun dun
No,
dun.
no, 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 no. And yeah, so that will be the two next episode or the three next episodes you're watching to wrap it up. And also, you will want to be here next week because that's when we're gonna vote on the next one. So if you want any say
Oh
in what
yeah.
we watch next, you will be there. I already have a couple that I want to throw in the hat. Orange. I know I suggested that last time, but I really like it. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's it. Just orange. All right, but come with your best, you know, suggestions. 12 episode to 13 episode. Yes. And he said maybe Hirotaka has a secret evil twin. Imagine if they just pull that over nowhere and he's a
There we go.
sorcerer. Um,
One
I like how you're
that's actually more outgoing too.
Jadella says, I like how your announcements at Anime Club will be an hour or so, and you took listen, time management, who is she? I feel like it's because we always like I'm always just like, oh, we ain't have nothing to say. And then we literally have so many things to say.
It's crazy. I don't know how this keeps happening. It's just like, especially this one. This one went off the rails way too hard.
We've been here for 3 days, y'all. I'm holding you hostage. Yeah, I think maybe though that might be a testament to maybe next time we, you know, do like a show and break it down, less episodes per discussion to maybe shorten it down a
Maybe,
little. 'Cause I feel like
I don't know. It's interesting. We have a lot of different topics we can always talk about, and then like we start talking about it. There's other topics that kind of come into play out of the fact that we can actually talk about too that we don't even think about initially. You know, we just write down a summary, right? And then we
yeah.
start going through, and you're like, wait a minute, this, and then it's like a whole 2-3 hours in, and you're like, oh wait, wow.
We discussed the history of anime. But yeah, because originally I wanted to like kind of segment it where it's like anime discussion, hot anime topic question of the day, and then like what you're watching. But I feel like it just kind of intertwines like now because it's just like, oh, if something kind of reminds us of something else, then we'll just ask it, which I kind of like that flow too. It doesn't always have to be structured.
Super structured, but we are, there is a structure there. And look, at the end of the day, is this not like a podcast? This is what podcasts end up doing, right?
True, that's true. Andre said no, we're watching Skate again. I would be up for watching Skate because I did not watch the dub. I abandoned it for the sub. Skate is that skating anime about those two.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you told me about this before, so I haven't seen it yet though. So I do. I'm curious.
Andy said, "What's the point in voting when we all know Jay is gonna rig it in favor of or on High School Host Club?" At least I'm honest in my treachery.
Well then. Not on my dead body.
I'm gonna stuff the ballots. Wait, maybe I shouldn't say that just yet. Okay.
Uh-oh. We gotta stop her. We gotta stop her, guys. All right, look at her. She's plotting already.
I'm gonna have like my 5 Twitch accounts open and be like, vote on all of them. But yeah, other than that, Break, thank you so much for staying on these 16 hours that we held this show. Do you have anything you want to tell the people before we wrap this up? Anything you want to shout out? Of course, like your channel, etc., etc.
Oh yeah, come check out my channel or the thabreakmaster. Follow me on Twitter even because I'll be saying some stuff on there. It'd be nice. Okay. Thank you. Shout out to Pink. She out here doing her thing. Check out that K-pop channel that she got going on. It's lit. Right.
Thank you.
And yeah, just I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. Like I didn't realize we were gonna be talking like this. I didn't know this was about to be a whole thing. I didn't realize, again, for this to be this long, and then you're about to start playing Little Hope or what Little Nightmare thing it's called. But yeah, like you're.
All right. Thank you so much, Break. Have a nice night.
Yes. See you guys next time.
Bye. Okay.